All right, greetings and salutations, everybody. All right, it's wild card weekend. Welcome for those of you who are patiently waiting. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. We're going to be just, doing a little bit of a watch along. Unfortunately, I cannot throw the game up on the screen due to copyright reasons, but I'm going to be watching the game, giving you guys my live reactions, everything like that, because again, these games are pretty important. Again, this is the entire road to the Super Bowl. There's two contenders in this morning's game. Of course, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Despite, the Colts being the number 7 seed and the last team to make the AFC in this year's playoffs, they have a pretty damn good record. And it's just, there's a lot of competition at the top. A couple games here and there going in the opposite direction leads you into being up against the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately, which are one of the hottest teams in the National Football League right now. But either way, I'm here. I'm answering questions. What's up, SS? How's it going? I'm just here, hang out, say what's up, Mike? How's it going? All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and pull up the stream here. See what exactly we're gonna get. I mean, to be honest, I won't be surprised. As much as I do believe the Buffalo Bills are gonna win this game, based on, as long as they're healthy wide receivers, Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley are playing up to their natural talent, they're good to go. But, if we get something of a fluke to happen and Josh Allen looks like 2019 Josh Allen, I could see this game going in a completely opposite direction. But I mean, that's wild card weekend, right? I think in the last 3 years, wild card weekend, there have been at least 2 upsets per year in the wild card division alone. Obviously, it's a little different this year based on the fact that we have 6 games instead of the regular 4. There isn't that much of a separation of talent, right? The number 2 seed is never playing against a number 7, a team that typically wouldn't make the playoffs. So those games should be one-sided affairs, while the other times, the other games, like, for example, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns, though it should be a closer one, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset there either. But yesterday's predictions, if you haven't seen it, goes as such. Alrighty, let's see here. Should I take the Buffalo plus 6.5? Not sure. I mean, as of right now, I'm pretty confident with that. I honestly, here's the thing about sports betting and taking lines and spreads. As it currently stands, if you believe the Buffalo Bills are going to win, then you should probably take this 6.5. I think the stat was in the last 50 wild card playoff games, teams who won are 44-5-1 in terms of also pretty much covering the spread. So if you're gonna win, you're gonna be just fine. So it's a matter of, do you believe the Bills are gonna win, or do you believe the Indianapolis Colts are gonna win? I mean, obviously, if you believe the Colts are gonna win, then you should probably go with the plus. Okay, let's see here. Is the game live right now, Diego? I think it starts at, it should be live right now. I mean, I think they should be kicking off at this current moment. It's 10:05 from where I sit. So 10:05 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I believe that was the kickoff time. So they should be firing away, and we're going to watch some playoff football as it begins. Tyler says, thanks for helping me win my first chip. Andrew, yep, no problem, man. I'm just here to help. If I can help in any single way that I possibly can, then I'm happy to do so. Perry says, Metcalf or Lockett fantasy PPR. If you're playing in a fantasy league in terms of the NFL playoffs, I'd probably go with Lockett. Metcalf hasn't done anything against Ramsey this year. Ramsey has just been unstoppable in terms of covering. So it's tough. Unless the Colts take control running, yeah, that's truly the thing. Yeah, and they honestly, they very easily could, because I mean, the Buffalo Bills, like we'll see on screen right now soon. I mean, they're a team that, though they're a better defense, it's hard for them to stop them. Damn, there are a lot of people in the stands in Buffalo. That's awesome. You get a little bit of a, yeah, they got a pretty good amount of people in the stands. I like it. Okay, this is cool. We got some playoff football coming at us. Alrighty, let's see here. So the stream is already delayed 15 seconds. And nice play, T.Y. Hilton. And I believe my stream that I'm watching is delayed 15 seconds. So if I see something like T.Y. Hilton catching a first down on the first play of the game, and it is at a 30-second delay in comparison to what you're seeing, it's mainly because that is the case. Just so we're on the same page. Because if I had a TV that I could, throw the game up on and watch, then that'd be great. But otherwise, I'm watching it on my desktop. I'm actually curious if I can find it on. What is this? Okay. I'm actually curious if I can find it on my phone and watch it there. Probably not, though. All right, cool. Let me get back into this chat, see what you guys are up to. Tyler, I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much. Monkey knife fight with small bets. Yeah, I've heard of the website, just haven't ever ventured there. I'll go check it out. All right, so this is what I'm going to do right now. I think I'm going to transition our screen to something like this. And then we'll go ahead and, so everyone's, oh shoot, that's not where I wanted to go. I'm going to go back here. All right, cool. The Colts will play to cover. Oh, they'll play cover 2, sorry. Dyslexic. Yeah, I mean, the Bills are typically in 3 wide receiver sets all season long. I think when they're in 3 wide receiver sets too, they're averaging like 4.1 yards per carry on the ground. So that's where the Bills are most deadly, is when a team wants to try to cover. And they'll have to, of course, because of the talent that they have at wide receiver. Come on, Jonathan Taylor. There you go. To be honest, when I watch these games, I'm still watching it in the sense that I'm trying to see a player kind of break out or just continue their hot streak. Like, I want Jonathan Taylor to play well so that the argument for him next, oh man, the run blocking is going to be disgusting today. My goodness, they just wash down everyone. But I want it so that next year, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's going to be a first-round pick. If Marlon Mack doesn't get re-signed based off the Achilles injury and the fact that last year was his last year on his contract, then, I want to see Jonathan Taylor succeed. Oh my goodness, a nice 12-yard run. Exactly. I want to see him succeed, so I have even more confidence in investing in a player like that in the fantasy capacity. They're moving the rock. It's the easiest thing that they can do is run the ball, and that's what they're the best at. Let me come back in here. Taylor's a beast, yeah. He certainly is. He certainly is. I mean, based on what numbers he put up this year, as of late in the last 6 games, he's just been, and then he gets stuffed for -3 yards. That's what happens when they just run commit you. All out blitz are sent. All right, 2nd and 11. Let's see what Phillip Rivers can do. That's the thing, right? Like, Phillip Rivers seems like he's just going to be the game manager at this moment in time, right? You have to make it so where Phillip Rivers isn't given the chance to make a mistake. You got to be able to effectively run the ball so that if and when he's given the chance to throw or Phillip Rivers has to make a play, it's out of play action and he can just dominate that way. Oh, man. How do you drop that? Michael Pittman, what are we doing? Yikes. I know that was a little bit of a floater, but come on. That's rough. That's definitely rough. Oh, gosh. Matt Milano's coming in full speed. Oh, he tipped it. That's why. Okay. I was about to say, I was like, hold up. Philip Rivers threw a little bit of a duck there for some reason. All right, 3rd and 11 now. This is where you honestly just got to get in the field goal range. Getting a first down is great, but field goal range is where you want with Blankenship at this point. Oh my goodness. The perfect corner route by T.Y. Hilton and the perfect placement by Philip Rivers. My goodness, on the dot. I mean, the ball placement. He dropped it. No way, dude. He didn't see it. That's why. He didn't see the ball, dude. That was, that should have been picked. Micah Hyde had that, but hey, so be it. 4th down. And now we get to see Josh Allen. I mean, I've been looking over and combing over stats. I took a week off of fantasy, right? Like I wanted to like kind of decompress and step away from it, considering I was in it every day for the last couple months, to say the very least. But my goodness, Josh Allen was unfreaking real in terms of his stats. He's just insane. Michael sends in a donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, showing support. Says, hey, Andy. I bet some serious cash on J.K. Dobbins over 61.5 yards. Any feedback? Good bet, bad bet. That's a fantastic bet. I mean, it's actually a ridiculously good bet. I'm curious as to why his over-under on his total rushing yards is that low, to be honest, because Tennessee is not good in terms of stopping the run. Of course, there are, the Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson, kind of affecting that backfield where they'll take touches, but I don't think it's enough to where it's going to, completely stop the overall productivity of J.K. Dobbins. I mean, even earlier this season against them, he put up 70 yards. We've seen running backs run through that defense pretty consistently in the last couple weeks. Let me go find the actual numbers. In the last couple weeks, David Johnson went for 84 on them. A.J. Dillon, 124. Swift, 67. James Robinson, 67. I mean, the way I see it, the couple games that J.K. Dobbins is coming off of, it just seems like they're going to be running the entire time. I think he's averaging 6 yards per carry this year. All you need him to get is 10 touches, which is a very baseline minimum against the Tennessee Titans defense that really can't stop anybody. So, yeah, I think that's a great bet. Yeah, and I mean, the fact that Mark Ingram has disappeared, it's probably the best possible thing for fantasy purposes. I mean, Mark Ingram in the last 2 years, right? His last season with the 2019 season with the Baltimore Ravens, getting 10-plus touchdowns on the ground. And then the year prior with the New Orleans Saints, in which he was averaging, I think 10, 11 points per game and a half PPR, even when he had that 4-game suspension. The year prior to that was his best season to date. I mean, Mark Ingram's still a good football player, but when we're talking about what the Baltimore Ravens need right now, they need to just give the ball to J.K. Dobbins every down. They'd be such a significantly better, team in my opinion. And I'm glad that they've kind of committed to that as of the last couple weeks. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins, 61.5 rushing yards. I'll take that very easily. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me check something. I'm actually curious, is my phone quicker than the actual? Yeah, it is. All right. So in that case, we'll keep an eye on the phone while we'll do this. All right, Josh Allen. Let's see what you got, buddy. Now, they pinned him deep, huh? Was that the 2-yard line? Field position is everything in the playoffs, but in football in general. It's going to be a stout run defense. You're going to have to pass this ball. Let's see. What's up, David? How's it going? Okay. What do we got here? Okay. What are they running? I mean, just going to have to methodically move the ball. I don't know if you guys have seen, but yesterday the All-Pro, okay, so they named like Chase Young the Defensive Rookie of the Year, obviously. Justin Herbert got the Offensive Rookie of the Year, even though I honestly think that despite how well he played, breaking the record for the most rookie passing touchdowns, like Justin Jefferson and James Robinson really needed some sort of, recognition beyond just being like, hey, congrats. Like, honestly, those two guys were unbelievable this year. But I don't know if you guys saw, but the All-Pro team came out yesterday, and Cole Beasley was on the second team All-Pro, which was ahead of Justin Jefferson and guys like A.J. Brown. It was just like, I was so confused to an extent as to how Cole Beasley, of all players, can get named to the second team All-Pro. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the players that he's with on that list nearly have 500 more receiving yards and 5 touchdowns more than him at every single spot. Like, he's accompanied by Calvin Ridley and DK Metcalf. Who else was a second team wide receiver? Keenan Allen, I think. Like, these guys are significantly more utilized on their teams, and I was so surprised. I was like, what's going on here? All right. David says, oh, by the way, I won my fantasy league. Big thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Glad I could help. Congratulations. That's awesome. So we already have problems here, huh? A lack of being able to move the ball. Let's not get a boring game. Like, even if the Buffalo Bills lose in this specific scenario, as long as we're getting an exciting game, that's all I'm looking for at this point. I'm not looking for, one of these boring games where I have to sit here and watch the defensive struggle back and forth. Because if that'll be the case, then I'm gonna be in my own head thinking, what are we doing here? All right, let's see. So, I have a question for you guys, and you tell me what you think. For next year's fantasy, okay? Let me think about this question before I ask it, because I was gonna say where people are potentially gonna value Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray after they fell off so hard in the second half of the season, and whether they can be expected to kind of bounce back at the beginning of next year in comparison to their constituents. Because I think to myself, Kyler, I think from the first 8 games of the season was on pace to have the greatest, fantasy quarterback performance in terms of an entire season of all time. Like, that's the kind of pace he was on. And then he fell off horribly. But I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are. Like, sure, these guys are still going to be top 7 quarterbacks, but they're probably on the lower end based on what they've done recently. And is that bias going to play a factor in your decision making next year? I guess it's just a matter of when you can potentially draft these guys, where they're going to come off the board, I guess. But I'm just curious to hear what you guys think. All right, Bills. That offensive drive, that was not good, to say the very least. That gives me little hope, but hey, they got to rely upon the defense here now. All right, decent run. 4th or 5th round. I mean, fourth or fifth round quarterbacks, I think, are even going to be. Kyler is an MVP candidate. What, for this season? For this past season? I don't know about that. I mean, maybe if they won more games. Maybe if he didn't fall off as hard in terms of fantasy productivity, then he could have been like an MVP candidate for in terms of fantasy as well. But I mean, let me actually go find it. Let's see the differential. That's the first 8 games, right? I mean, he still had some pretty monster performances even in the second half of the season, but they were just like, there's 2 games that are specifically less than 10 points that really throw off his entire thing. Not my top 7. I mean, I'm just thinking, okay, so who's technically in the top 7 next year? Josh Allen for sure, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Watson, that's 4. We have the potential of Dak making it 5. Lamar making it maybe 6. I mean, Lamar, I don't know about Lamar being 6. I'd probably even put Herbert or Wilson ahead of Lamar at this point for next year. But again, I guess it all just depends. But I mean, Lamar, if he's going to keep running for 1,000 yards a season in a 4-point per passing touchdown league, it's kind of hard to pass it up. Mahomes, Jackson, Rodgers, Allen, Herbert, Brady, all before them. Yeah, Brady, interesting. Yeah, I mean, is that offside? Did he get away with that? Man, T.Y. Hilton's torching this defense right now. Man, the Colts are moving. Here we go, Michael Pittman Jr. This offense is real. I mean, they can't be stopped at this point. Tre'Davious White is barely keeping up with Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, it's a crossing route, which is tough to, especially if the ball placement's as good as that. It's going to be tough to be able to keep up with a wide receiver like that. All right, Rivers, what are you going to do here, bud? I think the stat is wildcard weeks, Phillip Rivers is like 4-0 in his last 4 games. Obviously with the Chargers, but he's been pretty good in the wildcard round in his career. So as long as he continues, he could keep that up to par and just lock that down. I take Allen, Mahomes, Watson, Jackson over all of them. Yeah. I guess it all just depends on what your preference is. Brady's a big if, yeah. I mean, to be honest, he is. Because he threw 40 touchdowns this year, right? But it's just like, whew, can he do that again? Because there were times this year where we were thinking like, man, Brady needs to kind of clean it up. What are we doing? But hey, if he's associated with that offense, whoever the quarterback's going to be in a Bruce Arians offense, you're going to throw the ball a bunch. And when that's the case, of course you're going to, oh, come on. I know the safety's not included in the run blocking scheme, but Taylor's just got to go run over Micah Hyde. Like, what are you doing, bud? Don't try to juke him. Just go clean him. That's just tough. All right, here's the game here. If you can stop him on 3rd downs and just force him to field goals, then you give yourself a chance. But what do we got? Screen. Jonathan Taylor caught in the backfield. All right. Good defense. Good offense getting down here. Let's see the field goal team and then eventually hit the commercial break. What's up, KFC? Oh, so you were trying to say next year he's an MVP candidate? Yeah, I mean, he potentially is. If to be honest, like that defense is going to improve. They have a pretty relatively young defense. They'll get Chandler Jones back next year. So their defense is going to be somebody that at least helps them out a little bit more than they did this year. But to be honest, if Kyler Murray is in more shootouts, then it's better for him in terms of overall statistics. But as of right now, yeah, I mean, he's got a good chance. They just gotta. I was gonna say they need to surround him with more talent because it just seems like their offense, whatever it is, whatever this Kingsbury scheme currently stands with, there isn't a number 2 wide receiver. There really isn't. Like Christian Kirk disappeared so often this year, to the point where it's like, can you really rely upon Christian Kirk rest of career? Like he really hasn't panned out as they probably would have wanted him to thus far. So maybe they got to go and draft another wide receiver for Kyler. What are your predictions for this game? I'm expecting the Buffalo Bills to win and cover. So I'm expecting the Buffalo Bills to win by 7 points. Obviously, based on the current rollout of this score, which I'll go ahead and update right now. Doesn't seem like, I'm not going to jump to conclusions after 1 quarter of play. I still think that the Buffalo Bills will turn it on. They're at home. They're, in my opinion, the better offense of the two, and they've proven that all season long. So it's just a matter of can they continue. Just got to get themselves into better field position, opportunities, and maybe not run the ball as much with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. I think that's just, those are the drive killers for you. Sure, you can go ahead and run it every now and then, but this team needs to exclusively pass the ball against the secondary and build rhythm early so that Josh Allen doesn't get lost in the second half of this game. Should they pick up AJ Green? Nah, he's too old. Maybe if you're trying to get a 1-year contract out of him, I still like, off of what he showed this year, he's done. He's not the AJ Green of old. He's not the elite wide receiver that can go up and make any play. Perhaps if the quarterback play from Joe Burrow early on was better, we could have seen more of AJ Green. But to be honest, as soon as T. Higgins got a little bit of a bigger role in the offense, he was just fine. And AJ Green prior to that just wasn't able to click. But if you can get him for cheap, then maybe. Honestly, I look at the wide receivers that are going to be on free agency. If they can go and make a play for one, it's going to be tough to go get a Chris Godwin. But if you can go get a Chris Godwin, do it. If you can go get an Allen Robinson, it's going to cost you money. But again, why not? You're trying to win the Super Bowl, right? So why not give yourself the best chance of doing so by getting one of these elite wide receivers? Let me actually go check who is a free agent this year. Let's see the notable free agents going into the season. There's kickoff. Okay, so of course, we'll go to my position. Let me actually check wide receivers. What do we got here? Honestly, they need to find a new running back too. I think they need to go into the draft and go get a new one. But so AJ Green's a free agent. Allen Robinson's a free agent. T.Y. Hilton. Larry Fitz is probably going to retire, which again, you'll need to fill his spot. So again, investing into a wide receiver, not a bad idea considering you just paid $11.5 million to Larry Fitz. He wasn't bad, but 409 receiving yards and 54 catches isn't going to, bang the table to keep him on the team. Okay. Is it going to be one of those games where Josh Allen is just getting crushed in the backfield, guys? Come on. Will Fuller's a free agent. I'm assuming he'll re-sign with the Texans. There really isn't that much depth at this position. Corey Davis could find himself a new landing spot. Marvin Jones. It depends, again, if they're going to keep Matthew Stafford or who they're going to have at quarterback there. Marvin Jones, not a bad pickup at all. Again, I mentioned Godwin, Smith-Schuster, Curtis Samuel. There's good talent out in the free agency world. It's just like, are they going to go do it? There you go, Josh Allen. Make some plays with your legs. Let's see here. Where are we at? Will Fuller, yeah. You think James Robinson will still be an RB1 next year if they get Trevor? Yeah, I think so. The way I see that offense, it's going to be a matter of who their head coach is and who their offensive coordinator ends up becoming. based on opportunity, the way that they've kind of shown, James Robinson can take 15 touches a game and be a very, very good running back. If the offense improves in any sort of capacity with the implementation of Trevor Lawrence at the quarterback position, that's a big bomb. Oh my God. No, that's a catch. Stephon Diggs is an animal. Holy moly. Either way, I do think that James Robinson could potentially be an RB1 next year. It's just going to be a matter of how much do they use him in the passing game based on who their offensive coordinator is. Because, again, there are offensive coordinators in the National Football League that do not believe in passing to the running back, a la the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay, in comparison to other offensive coordinators like an Anthony Lynn, who is, an offensive guru kind of guy there, who used to be the offensive coordinator of the Bills, but loves to pass the ball to running backs, right? I mean, Anthony Lynn, prior to going to the Chargers, was feeding the ball to LaShawn McCoy through the air while he was on the Buffalo Bills. So it's just a matter of how that's going to go. But I do think that James Robinson's in a good spot right now. Where would you like to see Watson in the event that he's gone from the Texans? There's no way that he'll leave the Texans because the Texans will not give him. To be honest, Deshaun Watson is a part of the end game in terms of what the Houston Texans need. Like, the Texans want to win a Super Bowl. Every organization wants to win a Super Bowl. Even though some of them don't make the right decisions to get there, it's a matter of, are they going to surround him with the proper talent? Because if you want to trade away Watson, if let's say, for example, I'm a GM for the Texans and someone says I want Watson, I want 4 first-round picks. I mean, minimum. That's when we can start talking. Because Watson is that good of a generational player. Like, he is unbelievable. The fact that he was, what was he, the 10th, 11th, 12th pick of that draft, the fact that he was drafted that late and that far behind Mitchell Trubisky is just unbelievable. Andrew was saying, is Cam Newton done? No, I was hearing things. So where do you think he'll go? Okay, so from what I saw the other day, the report was that the likelihood is that Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots are going to go elsewhere at the quarterback position. The rumors as of right now are Cam Newton is either going to be a backup somewhere or he is going to be signed to the Washington football team, obviously with the connection to Ron Rivera and the offensive coordinator there. So he's proven that he could be a serviceable, wow, we're down to the 1-yard line. He could be a serviceable quarterback, but his arm is washed. I mean, you guys have watched it. I know the receiving talent for the New England Patriots wasn't top tier this year. I mean, they didn't have Edelman. N'Keal Harry really fell out. You know what's funny too? I'll get to that in a second, but I mean, his arm just doesn't look good. He's trying to throw Hail Marys against the Houston Texans, and he's throwing it 20 yards short. So it's just tough. But what I was going to say is Bill Belichick, for as much people, as much as, oh, wow, we're going to run a quarterback power here. Oh, my goodness. Dawson Knox with the receiving touchdown. All right, here we go. These are the Buffalo Bills that I'm talking about. All right, let's go ahead and update the score here. Get ourselves a nice big old 7, huh? Beautiful. Josh Allen, man, making some acrobatic plays, falling down. Whew, you love to see it. But anyway, the whole point was that I was trying to make was Cam Newton, though that he could potentially start somewhere, Bill Belichick, for as much people give him praise in terms of his drafting ability, he's done a pretty good job. You got Brady, in the 6th. How you doing? But in terms of drafting skill positions in the last couple of years, Sony Michel and N'Keal Harry, as of right now, are busts. They have not produced at the value they were drafted. Late first round picks. I mean, you could have gotten some monsters, but hey, it is what it is. Hindsight 2020. Let me see. Who else is a free agent this year? Running backs update. Let's see here. Aaron Jones will probably be re-signed. I have a hard time. I mean, they could theoretically transition to A.J. Dillon, but I don't think they're going to do that. They'll keep Aaron Jones. Kenyon Drake's going to sign somewhere else because I doubt that Arizona wants to keep him. Gus Edwards is a free agent. I'm assuming the way that the Baltimore Ravens are built, they want to keep him. I mean, they only paid. Oh man, they didn't even pay him that much. The contract for Gus Edwards this year was only $750,000. That's minimum. James Conner's a free agent. Good luck to him. It's gonna be tough for him to find somewhere. Todd Gurley's not. I mean, he's not playing anymore. Maybe he gets picked up. Some other time, I guess. Mike Davis could sign somewhere else. I'm assuming he'll go back to Carolina as they reward him for the year that he just had. Jeff Wilson had himself pretty good games at the end of the year. I'm assuming he'll go back as well. Philip Lindsay. I mean, if Philip Lindsay could do us all a favor and not play for the Denver Broncos next year, that would be fantastic. Because I don't even care about Melvin Gordon's fantasy value. I'd love to see Philip Lindsay play for an actual team and be given the full workload. I know he's a smaller running back, but man, he was so good 2 years back. 2018? A.J. Dillon looked good. I mean, he looked good against the Tennessee defense that couldn't stop anybody. So technically, yes, in his first real opportunity, he looked fantastic, but it's just a matter of, are we going to see that week in and week out from him? If that's the case, so be it. Let's send it. I mean, it could be the case where, like, I don't want to make the total comparison, but Derrick Henry wasn't given the full opportunity in his first couple of years, right? And he had to sit behind DeMarco Murray. When DeMarco Murray finally, had his day and it was over, and he retired, Derrick Henry was unleashed. So it could be one of those cases with this A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones dealio. But, I mean, I'm not saying A.J. Dillon's Derrick Henry because, to be honest, at this point, there is nothing even remotely close to what Derrick Henry is right now. He is just, I mean, I don't even understand it. He's 26 years old. He's coming off of a 2,000-yard season. And it doesn't look like he's slowing down in any capacity. He'll probably have 30 rushing attempts tomorrow. And it's just going to be disgusting. Derrick Henry. All right. So kickoff, it just went through. That was a nice hurdle. And I love when a kicker comes up and makes a play. When the kicker comes up and makes a tackle like that, that's beautiful. You love to see it. Did the snow play a part in the Tennessee defensive struggles? No, Tennessee has been awful on defense all year. To be honest, they lost a couple pieces this offseason. Their linebacking core is fine. Their secondary's got problems. Their defensive line is their biggest issue. They did bring in Clowney, but they have no run stopping ability, and they have no pass rush. So your corners are going, like, they do have good cornerbacks. The problem is when you give an opposing offense that much time in the pocket and the rush never gets there, you're not going to have these cornerbacks being able to cover the entire field for the entire time when wide receivers are, running routes that are taking 15 seconds long to develop. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I mean. Their pass rush has to be next level in order to make sure that their secondary doesn't get torched. And it just hasn't been up to the par this year that it was in years past. Let's see here. I mean, they're already moving the ball again. Michael Pittman Jr. has a nice run. Here comes Jonathan Taylor on a big run. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I mean, I don't watch that many full games of every team. Of course, I watch my duly noted things on specific receivers, right? Like if T.Y. Hilton has a game, let's go watch every single play that he made in that, in said game. But maybe you guys can tell me, those of you who are Indianapolis Colts truthers and are fans, do the Colts run in shotgun the entire time? Do they ever go under center? There they go, and they go under center immediately. I was about to say, because it just looked like everything they were doing was out of the gun. Here comes the play action. That's why they went under center. And he dropped the ball. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, what are we doing, bud? What are we doing? Dave was saying, This is actually going to be a good game for Rivers. If he's going to keep, yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, if Rivers has to keep up with Josh Allen and he has to do it with his arm, it's going to be tough because this Bills secondary will force some turnovers. They will. It's only a matter of time. They're talented enough, right? But we'll just have to wait and see. 3rd and 5. Here we go. Their third down conversion rate hasn't been good this game already. I think whether they're 0-2. He goes for the deep bomb, and he drops it. T.Y. Hilton is selling. Guys, what? What is T.Y.? I'm sorry. Let me see this replay on screen. What? Oh, no, the coverage just got there. I'm about to say. Oh, no, he sold. He could have caught it. T.Y., what are we doing? I mean, that was a great play, too. But, you know what? There's two plays that T.Y. Hilton could have made touchdown drives. But, wait, they went for it on? No, they're not going for it on 4th and 5. They're joking, right? They're not that crazy. Yeah, they're not that crazy. Okay. They just want to back up their field goal kicker to get a little bit more room. So when they punt it, they can potentially pin them back. But holy moly. Damn. I mean, yeah. Just like David said. Rivers, if he keeps it up, he can have a good game. But his receivers got to help him out a little bit, right? It's a two-way street at some extent. They've got to be able to catch the ball there. T.Y. Hilton, come on, you're going to be a free agent next year. You got to prove to teams why you're going to be something of value. Let me go see other free agents. Who's a tight end free agent this year? Gronkowski, of course. He'll probably get re-signed. Hunter Henry's going to get re-signed. Robert Tonyan's going to be re-signed. Tonyan's going to make so much money. He only made $660,000 this year. When I say only, I mean in comparison to the rest of the field, I mean Hunter Henry just made $10 million as a what's it called? Franchise tag this last year. Jared Cook will be a free agent. Jonnu Smith, Dan Arnold, Gerald Everett, Mo Alley Cox, Tyler Eifert, Jordan Reed, Greg Olsen. Yeah, no. A lot of these contracts, man. I mean, Pittsburgh needs to get Vance McDonald off their team, especially at the value which they're paying him. Greg Olsen needs to retire, go to the booth. Jordan Reed is kind of proven that he's a decent tight end, but he should be a backup anywhere he goes. All right, not bad talent at tight end. Besides Dak, who's actually the other? I mean, okay, Dak, Cam, Andy Dalton, Fitzpatrick. Yeah. Rivers is technically also a free agent, but it's just like, are they going to really? I don't think he's playing next year. Do you see the Saints doing anything this year? I mean, I think they get to the NFC Championship as a matter. I mean, like the problem is who they play in the NFC Championship, because I do think the Saints are a good team. Their defense, though they've been a little bit shaky as of late based on injuries, if Demario Davis is flying sideline to sideline, really just commanding this team, then it's going to be hard to stop that defense from really stopping the run to an extent. And a lot of the teams in the NFC, specifically, if they play against the Rams in the second round, if they play against the Seahawks in the second round, these are run-first teams that prefer running the ball. Now, when you play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we've seen it already twice this year. The Saints have their number. That's easy. But the Saints playing against the Green Bay Packers, that's the toughest thing. And the problem is that the Green Bay Packers have a better record. So I think it's just a matter of, can Drew Brees go to Lambeau and produce? I don't think that's the case. But I think it's an NFC Championship game for them this year. And then Brees rides off into the sunset. If he wants to come back and play another year, so be it. But I think this is Taysom Hill's team in the future. That's a question I was going to ask. Do you guys think Taysom Hill is a top 12 fantasy quarterback this year? I mean, next year, if Drew Brees is gone? Because I honestly think he is. Top 12 might be high, but when I think about how much he's going to run the ball and how many points this team can score already with the built team that they have. A pretty solid defense. You've got good receiving options, which of course could continue to improve as you bring in, younger talent and continue to produce talent. But this offensive line is just ridiculous. And the way that Taysom Hill's running the ball down in the red zone, just stealing touchdowns left, right, and center. I mean, getting an extra 6 points every drive with a couple rushing yards here and there. It's a lot of value. It's a lot of value. But yeah, I mean, I do think that he could be like a bottom of the top 12, low end QB1 next season if he's given the full reins of this offense. I mean, we've seen him produce with Michael Thomas already twice this year. And Michael Thomas had 2 100-yard receiving games against Atlanta. So he could do it. It's just a matter of what we see. If Taysom is a starter, then he's a lock for a top 12. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Ryan. That's definitely what I'm thinking. I mean, just based on the offense, too. Like, Sean Payton is going to put together, and he's going to even develop him more this offseason, from what I can tell. I think the playbook just continues to expand when it comes to the wild card Taysom Hill experience that they want to throw out in front of teams. Look at Josh Allen running for his life. Why is that the designed play? I'm so confused as to some of the decision making. Like, don't quarterback power that. It's just like, man. It's like an RPO, but he decides whether he's keeping the ball or he's throwing it. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Got to keep him healthy, though. You think Jameis could win the job over him if he stays? I think based on what they did this season alone and giving Taysom the job, it seems to me that Jameis will probably be playing elsewhere next season. Because, look at Josh Allen. Oh, my God, he got stood up. That is a great form tackle against a big quarterback. Well, here comes the punt team. Anyway, I think based on what Taysom Hill was given the opportunity, I mean, what was it, 3 games in a row? And he won all 3 of them. It just seems to me like Jameis has got to play somewhere else. Where he plays, that's a coin toss. To be honest, if I'm the Chicago Bears, maybe I'll go get Jameis Winston. But we'll just have to wait and see how that all pans out. But I think Jameis should be in the league. I think he should be a starting quarterback. It's just a matter of who wants to go and take the risk. Where would you rank Brady next year? If they get Chris Godwin back, if they keep Antonio Brown all of next season, they get the return of Gronk. You still have Ronald Jones. Of course, Leonard Fournette can go through free agency. If they don't, potentially re-sign him for an option. Is Leonard Fournette the deal a 2-year deal? Let me actually check this out. Let's see, Mr. Leonard Fournette. What are we at here? No, he's an unrestricted free agent. Okay, so they'll probably let Leonard Fournette walk, but regardless of that, I just wanted to check out of curiosity. He could probably be like the number 8 quarterback overall, maybe 7, but he should put up similar numbers to what he did this year. I don't see that a way that this offense can slow down if you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Ronald Jones, and Antonio Brown with that good of an offensive line, and getting even more comfort with Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich's offense. It just makes me think that they're just going to continue to build upon it. The chemistry will continue to build. I mean, again, they didn't have an offseason. They didn't have preseason games. They didn't have the ability to build as much chemistry as they may have wanted to prior to the season starting. They'll have that at the beginning of next year. So Brady should be like a top 7. Honestly, maybe outside of the top 7. Maybe he's number 8, but he's in that conversation. He's close enough to maybe he jumps in and takes the number 7 spot. But yeah, he's that good. Do you think Jameis Winston could win the job over him if he's... Oh, yeah, so we already did that. So, yeah, I mean, where else could Jameis go? The Bears seem like a decent landing spot. I mean, if one of these teams don't want to draft a quarterback, which I find it hard for someone to... You know where he should probably go, Jameis? Which kind of sounds crazy. I was going to say maybe just send him to Miami, but I think they'll just re-sign Fitz. and just wait for Tua to either pan out or not pan out, and then you have you have Jameis Winston to come in and try to sling a couple passes, but either way. Justin saying, what do you think of the Atlanta's upcoming offseason? Do you think Julio and Matt Ryan will be traded? Julio to Baltimore would be crazy. Okay, so here's the thing. From my understanding in terms of what their contracts currently look like, Julio Jones is offered fully guaranteed money this upcoming season. I think if someone was to trade him, they'd owe him, I think it's an insane amount of money. Let me see here. Because last time I checked, Julio Jones signed a 2-year, like $66 million deal. So, sorry, okay, it was a 3-year, $66 million deal. So if someone's going to pay him next year, they're going to probably, they're going to have to pay him like $22 million next year. So if someone wants to take that on, go for it. It's just a matter of what is his value in terms of trade value. Like Julio's still Julio. He's a future Hall of Famer. It's just like, what is a future Hall of Famer worth? Because if you can go ahead and just trade for him by giving a player and then a lower pick, I would try to do that, especially if I'm a contender. Like, I honestly thought earlier this season that the Green Bay Packers should have went and traded for Julio and just bought all in and said, all right, we're going for the chip this year. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. We need another dominant wide receiver. Let's just do it. Man, did Jonathan Taylor just make it out of that tackle? Whew, my goodness, man. He stopped completely. All of his momentum stops in the backfield. And then he just busts out for an extra 6 yards. Unbelievable. What a beast. But yeah, Matt Ryan, that's the contract you can't move. It's pretty much the version of what the Philadelphia Eagles have to do with Carson Wentz. I don't know why I couldn't get it out. My brain just wasn't functioning. How much more money do they still have on his deal? So they owe him, oh my God. It's a 40, oh my God. His base salary for the next 3 years is about $20 million a year for Matt Ryan. But in terms of a cap hit, it's like $40 million a year. They owe him a lot of money. So if someone's going to trade for Matt Ryan, then they need just one piece to win it all. But to be honest, I don't think Matt Ryan's that good of a quarterback anymore to be like a plug and play per se. You know what I mean? Like if you put Matt Ryan on the Colts and you replace Phillip Rivers this offseason, sure. Oh man, Jonathan Taylor's an animal. You get probably a pretty good offense, but is it enough without a Julio or a Calvin Ridley to make, like, can Matt Ryan survive without Julio and Calvin Ridley? Because he's had the benefit of having those guys like Roddy White earlier in his career. So if you put him with a T.Y. Hilton and a Zach Pascal, is he going to be able to produce? I don't think he does. That's why I'm scared of it. Maybe Arizona wants to trade for Julio. I mean, shoot. If an already powerful offense wants to go and get a stud wide receiver, I'm all for it. Michael Pittman Jr. gets behind the linebackers and into the secondary for a huge play. Wow. We're moving the ball, huh? Phillip Rivers is kind of dicing this defense up a little bit here, to say the very least. It's just a matter of, can they finally put the drive together and not kick a field goal here. Down in the red zone, throws to the tight end. That's classic Phillip Rivers. To be honest, if I'm the Houston Texans and I want to make Deshaun Watson happy, I go get Julio Jones. But the question is, how many years does Julio Jones have? You might as well have just kept DeAndre Hopkins, but that was a mad scientist decision by Bill O'Brien, which again will haunt his legacy forever, quote unquote. Because I don't know if you deserve a legacy when you made the worst trade perhaps in NFL history in my eyes. David Johnson played well at the end of the year, but I mean, he's not DeAndre Hopkins. He's not as valuable as that. Nyheim Hines coming in clutch. All right, well, that's a touchdown. That's going to happen. They're going to punch it in right now. Nyheim Hines getting down, making plays. Man, that's some good coverage by Matt Milano, too. Phillip Rivers just put it in the right spot, dude. My goodness. Dude, his hand is almost in there hitting the ball. Oh, they put in Jacoby Brissett. Here comes the Jacoby Brissett's QB sneak, of course. And they stopped him. Jacoby, just jump, bro. You're a big 6'5" quarterback. Just jump, bro. What are you doing? Oh, my God. Just jump. And the offensive line is getting crushed in there. They're getting bent backwards. I mean, they still got some decent push, but, I mean, if the quarterback's not going to make the move, you're not going to get anything there. You need to have 6 defensive linemen in this scenario. How many do they have? They have 5 down guys? Oh, they just have the linebacker in the one shade. Okay. Yep, touchdown. Okay. Nice shot by Jonathan Taylor. We have an interesting game on our hands now. We certainly do. Let's update that. Let's move that. Boom, 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 boom. Looking like an interesting one, to say the very least. Good run blocking. Jonathan Taylor scores again. I mean, man, Jonathan Taylor looking better and better every day when it comes to the 2021 season. Let me actually see. Where's Marlon Mack's contract? Let's go see. What does Marlon Mack got in terms of his contract breakdown? So he's an unrestricted free agent. They're not going to sign him. Yeah, he's gone. They don't need him. They might as well just roll another year with Jordan Wilkins' rookie contract. And then, of course, they got to pay Nyheim Hines in the coming years. So, yeah, Marlon Mack's gone. I don't know where he's going to go either. Coming off of an Achilles, that's tough. Bills' offense has had one good drive, yeah. That's all it takes, honestly. And you got a game. Taylor's my number 1 running back going into next year's fantasy. Damn, that's a bold statement, David. It's definitely a bold statement, to say the very least. My goodness. I think mine is still Christian McCaffrey, but, you know, I look for the upside of a receiving back at all times. What will it take to make the Cardinals a real contender? I mean, where do they lack the most? I honestly think it's offensive line and a stable running game. Like, legitimately, I think that's where their biggest struggle is. If you can keep your most valuable asset, which is Kyler Murray, healthy, then you should have no problem for him carrying you. So, yeah. I think they should just improve offensive line this year, if they can. Of course, either free agency and or the draft. Josh Allen needs to get going if he wants to win. I mean, it's a matter of, if he wants to win, his defense has also got to, force some 3-and-outs. Because, yeah, they scored a touchdown, but the Phillip Rivers in this offense, they've moved the ball pretty easily all game long. So if his Buffalo defense isn't able to turn it around here, they could be in trouble in that second half, especially once the defense gets tired. Jonathan Taylor gets his second wind of sorts and starts breaking out bigger runs. So yeah, they're going to be in trouble if Josh Allen doesn't get going. I agree. He needs to establish a pretty solid lead, because if he's got to come back late in the game, it's going to be tough for him. All right, what do we got here? Buffalo Bills takeaways at home. Well, you got to force some. Can't just talk about it. That's the problem. Also, for Z-Man, who is asking what takes the Cardinals, or what will it take to make the Cardinals a real contender, they need to draft guys like Isaiah Simmons and actually start him off the rip. Like, I know he didn't have the offseason to learn, but the fact that he didn't play as much is so ridiculous. Man, the Indianapolis Colts special teams are by themselves winning the game. The field positioning that Josh Allen has been in is just awful. If you're going to call holding on the offense on the return team, that's going to be insane. Oh, okay, face mask on defense. Got it. Holding, return team. Yeah, they're in trouble. This kind of field positioning is going to kill your entire game. The offensive playbook just shrinks when you have to, play with the end zone literally in your back. You can't have a 7-step drop because of the size of Josh Allen. He's in the end zone. Someone gets called for holding, it's a safety. That's tough. That's a nice run by Zach Moss, who did nothing all season long. Congratulations. If Watson is traded, where do you think he'll go? Okay, so if, for example, he's to be traded, I'd love to see the Miami Dolphins send Tua and 3 first-round picks for him. I'd like to see him in Miami. That's where I'd like to see him go. Even though Miami doesn't have the pieces right now, but they can build around them. It's not like Houston has the pieces. They don't have a defense, right? At least what Deshaun Watson gets there is the idea that the defense is going to be lock solid and will be able to at least help him out and not force him to have to score 30 points a game to win. What's your team, by the way? The Rams, yeah. And some of you, already know that in the chat. Yeah, I'm a Rams fan. But it's just a matter of, the Rams right now, we're not in the best spot. To be honest, I didn't even want us to make the playoffs this year because I know we're probably not in the best position to win anything. Sure, we can maybe pull out an upset today, but chances are it's not going to be the case. Did they just run it on 3rd and 1? Man, this is just wow. The Bills are not. The Bills don't look like the Bills. I'll tell you that much. But hey, that's on the Indianapolis Colts. Special teams and defense really doing work. But I mean, special teams first and foremost. Field positioning is just killing them. All right, Josh Allen. Are we going to see the 2019 Josh Allen come out? Because that's what it's looking like. Because 2019 Josh Allen last year against the Houston Texans in the first round of the playoffs got, beat by the lower seed before. They threw a fat lead. I think they were up like 16-6 at no, it was more like 16-3 at halftime or some shit like that. They threw the lead, and Deshaun Watson came back and won. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson, there's no way they trade him. Regardless of where he goes, he'll succeed. He'll find more success than what he will with this team. I'm a 49ers fan. If my miracle we get, oh wow. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers would have to send Garoppolo and like 7 first-round picks at this point. Because I think Garoppolo, though he is technically a decent quarterback, he's not going to win you games by himself. The offense that's structured there is a matter of, hey, we're going to have to run the ball. But maybe if you go ahead and you put him in an offense where he has to throw to win, then he can maybe get it done. But, I mean, Garoppolo should be fine there. With the amount of pieces you guys have with Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk, my goodness. Whoever you put at quarterback there is going to be able to succeed, even if it's a Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. It doesn't even matter. That kind of talent surrounding a quarterback, along with that kind of a running game, just is automatic success regardless. I mean, that's why the Rams lose to the 49ers so often. Besides the defense and Jared Goff just being awful, it's also that offense that is continuing to build over 7 first-round picks. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen. I'm telling you. Jimmy Garoppolo counts as negative draft value. So you have to overcompensate, you know? He's mostly carried by other players, yeah. I wish I saw the Raiders in the playoffs. You know, Jerry, I told myself the same thing earlier today. I honestly think that the Raiders were a good team, just defensively fell apart really badly in the second half of that season. That's 2 years in a row that they've done that, though, where they've started off hot, they won 7 games early, and then they tailed off and kind of fell apart late in the season. If Fitzpatrick doesn't come into that game and beat them single-handedly, then... Or, well, I guess Myles Gaskin did it, but if Fitzpatrick doesn't come into that game, the Raiders, I think, are in the playoffs. Potentially. But I don't know if they lost to the Colts, right, in a head-up matchup this year. So maybe they don't even make the playoffs, even if they win that game. All right, Mr. Phillip Rivers, let's see you move the ball, baby. Michael Pittman Jr. with another big play. Holy moly, that's touchdown. Never mind. There was another safety on the other side of the field. Michael Pittman is feasting. Back from injury and looks better than ever. Good blocking downfield. No penalties. Jonathan Taylor, go block somebody, please. They're moving, dude. They're moving. Run the ball consistently. That's Zach Pascal. He's got to be able to block that. He's actually one of the better run-blocking wide receivers in the league, too. That's why they still have him in the rotation. I mean, he's still a good wide receiver, but in terms of why he plays as much as he does is because he really is a good run-blocking wide receiver. That's just a fluke. Happens to the best of them. Can only keep 2. Okay. Can only keep in a 2 QB league. Brady 5th, Jefferson 6th, Ronald Jones 15th. Oh, man. If I'm keeping one of those players, I think I'm keeping... If this is any sort of PPR format, I think I'm taking Justin Jefferson in the 6th. Yeah, that's probably where I go. Raiders were 6-3 with one of the easiest schedules remaining. Yeah, it's tough. Aaron says, thanks for all the help this season. Great job. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Thank you. All right, let's see it. Where is Phillip Rivers moving this ball, huh? Man, this defense is falling apart again, huh? The pass rush is not getting there. Well, Cox just mossed Micah Hyde. Whew. Well, the first, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call it a game, but whew, some of these passes, my goodness. Micah Hyde's a little bit taller there. Takes a better jump on that. You get a pick, but this game's getting away from them real easily. Phillip Rivers is really putting it on them, making it difficult for that secondary. You got a motion running back into this backfield. Are you going to really keep leaving Naeem Hines out there? Really? Okay. 5 wide. Trey Burton. I like the design of the play, but it's just like, it's tough. Bills defense looks terrible? Absolutely. You know, they look exactly like they did in the playoffs last year. I'm not even kidding. They looked this bad in the playoffs last year. But it's just insane that they're doing that at home. They are one. I mean, I think I said it in the video yesterday. They are the worst run stopping team in the NFL that is left in the playoffs right now. None of the other teams are as bad as them. Maybe the Tennessee Titans, but the Buffalo Bills take the cake when we're talking about teams that can't stop the run. That should have been a touchdown. If that was Jonathan Taylor, I think it would have been, but they're running a little bit of this Wildcat action stuff. Frank Wright trying to get cute with it a little bit right now. They just got to punch it in. Put in your best running back and just punch it in. Two-minute warning. Yeah, listen, if the Colts can, I know the Colts started the half with the ball, but if somehow, some way, the Buffalo Bills can stop them here, force them to 3, go in at halftime, and then dominate the beginning of the second half and control the first 8 minutes of the second half and score, I mean, you got a chance. If you can't, you give up a touchdown, you come out in the second half, and you're a 3-and-out team, I'm going to stop the stream and we're done because it's over. The game's a wash at that point, So, that's where we're at this point. It's a tough, harsh reality, but it's not looking good, I'll tell you that much. Let me check something. What is this? Okay, let's see here. Still on commercial break, Jiminy. Okay. Let me see if my Amazon package is showing up today, huh? Out for delivery. What time are you showing up, buddy? When do I gotta expect you to be behind the door? Alright, we're chilling. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. I'm glad I could help you, man. You won 3 out of your 5 leagues. It's a pretty good percentage, I'll tell you that much. Pretty good percentage. Congrats. Glad I could help in any sort of way. To next year, right? Let's try to make that 5 out of 5. All right, let's see. We coming back from commercial anytime soon? Like, my goodness. We got to have 17 different TV shows, huh? All right, controlling the middle 8. Can you win, or can you control the last 4 minutes of the halftime, and then after half, can you dominate off the rip? They got to just run this ball, man. Give the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and you're going to score. It's just how it works. This offensive line's far too good. All right, here we go. Nice toss play. Oh, man, they got outside way faster. Who was trying to pin there? I mean, interesting. Okay, there it is. That's what they needed. I mean, Tre'Davious White made the play. Okay. He tried to cut him, and he couldn't. That's a great play. The defense swarmed on it. Get 11 hats on the ball at all possible costs. All right. So the question is, did the Colts go for it here? I doubt it. They probably go for 3. Take the 6-point lead going into... Are they going to go for this? No way right now. You gotta put up 3. I mean, like, Frank Wright. We're trying to win games here. Like, you gotta put up 3 points here, bud. Like, there's no way. They feel that confident. If you're going to throw the ball here, you have to go to the running back. You have to throw to Nyheim Hines. Jonathan Taylor goes out. Is Nyheim Hines in there? Number 21's in there? Yep. Okay. He's honestly probably going to throw it to Jack Doyle, but we'll see. 5 wide set. Nyheim Hines rotate. Okay. Motions. Phillip Rivers. Oh my God, he's wide open. Oh my Michael Pittman. Oh my Michael Pittman, you're open. Rivers is playing a fantastic game. Let this be noted duly. He is playing a fantastic game. The offense that they're calling is perfect. These guys just, maybe it could have been placed a little bit better, but when it hits both of your hands, I feel like as a professional wide receiver, that's got to be a play you make, especially in the playoffs. But my goodness, hey, I think the Buffalo Bills are very lucky because the score of this game could very easily be 28-7. Honestly. It's just a matter of the Colts are not making the plays at the final moment to lock it down. That's 3 drop passes, 2 by T.Y. and 1 by Michael Pittman now that could have all led to scoring drives of an actual touchdown. So it's tough. Definitely tough. What is this? Okay. Let's see here. Let me go back here. Yeah, that's as rough as it gets, man. Michael Pittman dropped it. I'm happy, right? Because I need that. I need the Buffalo Bills to win today, but I don't like watching players not make plays when they certainly should have. Yeah, that's tough. That one's gonna hurt them. Alrighty. Let's see. Where are we at? We're probably going to halftime here. How dare you says hit the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Got to get to 3. That's what I was saying. I was surprised that, look, the design of the play was perfect. They ran crossing routes. They tangled up the defense, and they had a wide open receiver on the backside end zone. But it's just, yeah, it's tough. If you go ahead and you lock up 3 points there, and then to start the second half, you force a 3-and-out by the Buffalo Bills offense, you're setting yourself up for success because then you can make it a 2-possession game just like that by getting the ball back. But instead, now they give a chance to Josh Allen with, 3 timeouts remaining to make a move here down the field. I doubt that they're going to even make much of a move. If anything, they might even punt because the field positioning is not good. And that's what Josh Allen's struggle has been all game long. Field positioning has absolutely killed their team. So let's see how this goes. Here we go. Josh Allen in the gun, 4 wide. Let's see this second team All-Pro Cole Beasley do something today, huh? That could have easily been a pick. A rare drop by Mr. Stephon Diggs. Yikes, bro. Big yikes. What did he just run? He ran a post on a cover 2, right? He got behind the linebacker. Oh, my God. He just straight dropped it. Wow. That's a little bit of a, balancing of the scales. Michael Pittman drops a touchdown, and then Stephon Diggs will turn around and drop a nice 25-yard gain. They blitzed Josh Allen out of the pocket, and he throws the ball away. Damn. Wait, did they call that a catch? He wasn't in bounds. He stepped out. Wait, I'm sorry, what? I'm pretty sure he stepped out before he even caught that ball. Like, he went out and came back in. Almost, but maybe I'm mistaken. Wait, I'm sorry. Is that a catch? Did Gabriel Davis just make a massive play? Pittman 4% on FanDuel? Really? He's only 4% owned this week? I'm surprised on that. I'm sorry. Am I not seeing this right? Did he actually catch that ball and have 2 feet in? That's insane to me. Okay, well, I mean, this is what I'll tell you. If the Buffalo Bills could do something, at least score 3 points at the end of this half, then the Indianapolis Colts will have successfully thrown away an entire first half. Ending it at a 0-0 halftime for how well the Indianapolis Colts played in comparison to the Buffalo Bills would be just devastating, in my opinion. Wow. It's a completed catch. Okay, here we go. We got a game. Let's go. Gabriel Davis making a clutch catch on the sideline. I swear he stepped out before he even got it, but watching it, yeah, he didn't. The blade of grass saved him. Wow. Don't worry, I'm happy about it. I want the Buffalo Bills to win today. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for it. I'll take it. What do we got? 4 wide again. Beasley. Yep. Good catch. Keep moving. Nice. Let's go. Move the offense. You got 2 timeouts. Let's go. Let's at least get 3 on the board here. We got John Brown and Cole Beasley on the same side. We got to see more utilization of John Brown. I know he just came back, but the fact that he gets to go against second cornerbacks, oh my God, Josh Allen, run. Oh my God, don't get sacked. Just throw it away, please. Oh my God, is Gabriel Davis just doing it to them today? Is Gabriel Davis doing it like, oh my God. What am I watching? Gabriel Davis. Oh my goodness. Are we going to review that one as well now? Okay. Come on. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt now. Like, he caught that ball. That one's even more of a clear catch to me. Dragging the toe. That's a catch. Easy. Man, Gabriel Davis, these sideline plays. Holy moly. Steven says, won my league this season. Love the ranking videos all season. Love the way you put together stats and insights. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could help you win a championship. Hopefully we can do it once again next year. Or this year. The next season, that's what I meant. Yeah. I'm just thinking of a way, guys, to where, you know, I'm all for those rankings videos. I'm going to put those up until, you know, my days are done, right? Those are my bread and butter. I love making those rankings videos, but I want to make other videos throughout the week, like for running backs, for wide receivers, for tight ends, for quarterbacks, that isn't going to require me to talk for 7 hours straight and doesn't require me to edit as much. So I'm going to have more content this upcoming season. I'm still, you know, we're churning everything. We're trying to make this thing better and better every year. We've made improvements every season. So next year, I think the main focus, like in terms of the way that the graphics look, I'm good with that. The green screen, everything like that. I probably need to buy a new microphone. I probably need to just make more videos too. And probably I need to hire help to help me do more stats and get more things going. Because again, it's going to be a very interesting 2021 season. Yeah, Gabriel Davis is he's having himself a game already, dude. I love it. All right, come on, Josh Allen. If you can go score a touchdown here and command the lead going into the second half, then in the beginning of the second half, come down, score again, then we have ourselves a comfortable lead. But until we can do that, we're not comfortable. Here we go. Oh, the pressure from the backside. No, Josh, don't get sacked. It's going to be intentional grounding. He's going to lose a down off that. Man, come on, guys. Where's his check down? I don't know how the subjectivity of the intentional grounding call works. If he's technically trying to throw to the receiver over there, but because he's being brought down, the ball lands 17 yards short. How does it work, you know? I guess his attempt was to take it to that receiver, but I mean, either way, he was out of the pocket, so he technically threw the ball away, but he didn't even get to the sticks. Oh, God. All right, check down. All right, field goal team. Just get 3. Tie it up going into the halftime. That's fine. Jonathan Taylor, ADP. First round for sure. I think he's a late first, probably. I could see that after the McCaffrey's, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, after those top echelon blue chip running backs, Saquon Barkley, Zeke, after those guys have come off the board, and of course Devontae Adams, that kind of top tier talent, then it's Jonathan Taylor, I think, in that next regime of players. So I think I can easily see him coming off the board, maybe as the 8th pick of this upcoming year's draft, maybe 9th pick. So that's where I'm mentally kind of picturing it. It could be sooner. I don't think it'll be any later though. It might be even earlier, to be honest. There was someone in here saying that their number 1 running back this year is going to be Jonathan Taylor. So Derrick Henry and JT next year. Me and my buddy were debating. I mean, it's a matter of what. I mean, this season alone, right? 17 rushing touchdowns and 2,027 rushing yards. Can he get any better? No. So you know what his ceiling is, as in Derrick Henry's, right? So if you're just buying, oh my God, is that a drop? What am I watching right now? Please don't tell me this is an interception. They went for 6. It's definitely not for 6. But is it an interception? No. Whew. Oh my. Wait, did they just go for it on 4th and 5 though? I thought it was 4th down. Wait, are the Buffalo Bills throwing? Did they not go for 3 there? They have Tyler Bass. He's a good kicker. I'm so confused. Okay, but anyway, we know what Derrick Henry's ceiling is. I think just buying in on that is probably the better of the two in comparison to JT. Oh, Travis Kelce. That's right. Travis Kelce's in there. Oh, man. Would I take Jonathan Taylor over Travis? How many points did Travis Kelce put up this year? In a full PPR, no. In a half PPR, let's go see what Mr. Travis Kelce did. Travis Kelce had, in a half PPR scoring format, 260.26 points. I think that's the second best tight end performance in the last decade. I think he barely eclipsed Jimmy Graham's season. Would I draft Travis Kelce ahead of? Yes, I would. I think I'd draft Travis Kelce ahead of him. But it's going to be close. I think that's going to be one of those decisions in the first round that's like kind of a toss-up. But I think at this point, if Nyheim Hines is going to continue to take as many, touches away, potential touchdowns, then yeah, I think Kelsey's probably taking over Taylor. Got them to jump off sides. I wasn't even paying attention. I literally came over here and started looking at the chat, Colin, and I completely, wow, he got them to jump off sides. All right, so they got to reset it down. So thank you for the update there. JT over Henry in a full PPR. I think there's an argument for it, but I mean, with Taylor Lewan coming back, I think that Tennessee offense just gets better. Oh, look at Josh Allen moving. Ooh, oh, Josh Allen, baby. Woo-hoo. Call time out. Josh Allen moving. It was 4th down. They went in the defensive drop ball. Okay, got it. Thank you very much, Fool. Appreciate it. How much of a difference does full PPR make? I'm new to fantasy. We did full PPR this year. Wondering if half would be better next season. I mean, it's just a matter of how much you want to give value to wide receivers and running backs that can catch the ball. Right? So just think about it this way. If a receiver in a full PPR caught the ball 100 times, he gets 50 points less overall in the season in a half PPR setting. So in my opinion, I just feel like if you're looking to, I think full PPR makes wide receivers too safe. That's the way I see it. I feel like if you want to find a stability, and it also kind of separates running backs by a pretty significant margin. So if you're trying to balance everything and not give wide receivers too much value, in terms of where I can start literally almost any wide receiver on a given week and get 10 points out of them. 5 catches and 50 yards is not difficult, right? But in comparison to when I look at a half PPR scoring format, it's just a little bit, I'd say, are they going to score here? Did I miss something? He kept it on the QB. Oof, God, Josh Allen. Here we go. That's right. Here we go. Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't matter which one you play in, just as long as you're comfortable with it and understand the upside. I mean, right there, the Indianapolis Colts not kicking the field goal, right, just allowed a 10-point swing to take place. A 10-point swing. Man. I mean, if they score that touchdown, then it's a 14-point swing. And that's why everyone in the Buffalo stance is dancing. My goodness. My goodness. Hey, here we go, man. But yeah, I just feel like full PPR gives a lot of value to receivers. And I guess it doesn't matter because fantasy's fantasy. You're going to have to adjust on the matter of how your league is kind of being played. I just feel like if you want wide receivers to have more relevant value and tight ends to not be as, I guess, volatile in your league, then fine. But I really do think that it hurts running backs because there are running backs out there that won't be like given the light of day in a full PPR because you can get Nyheim Hines who will catch the ball 5 times for 50 yards in a week. And then anything else he does is going to be significantly better than the running back that runs for 40 yards and a touchdown and can't even hold his jockstrap, Glenn says, thanks for all your help this year. Your content was excellent. Won my league. Congratulations, Glenn. I'm glad I could help you out. And I'm glad you were able to win. It's awesome. Man, Josh Allen. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Now you get the ball. It's the second half. You can control the middle 8 of the game. The last 4 minutes of the game and the first starting 4 minutes of the second half. If the Buffalo Bills can go into the second half, come out strong, score again, it's going to be up to Phillip Rivers' arm on whether or not they're going to win that game. They're not going to be able to rely upon that running game as heavily as they did in the first half, as they were dominating the clock and or they were leading the game for a majority of the time. So it's going to be interesting. Steven says, for example, Hines' value goes up and Jonathan Taylor's goes down in a full PPR because Hines catches a lot more passes. And each caught pass. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Steven. I don't think that Jonathan Taylor's value goes down. His value goes up because he caught a pretty good amount of passes last year. So his value, actually, you know what? His value doesn't go up. His overall fantasy productivity goes up, but his value stays pretty stable. But yes, it does give an advantage to a player like Nyheim Hines to grow to a point where he's a must start every single week in comparison to a guy in a half PPR or a standard. And a standard would never see the light of day, but in a half PPR would be a flex option. So there's just different levels to it, I guess. Think the over 44.5 hits. What are we at here? I got to update the score. Sorry. Score 14-10. Boom. Let's edit this, move it over a little bit. And we got to change the quarter. I forgot about that. I was so distracted, but anyway. Do I think the over hits? Yeah, probably. I could very easily see them scoring another 24 points in this half. So, yeah, I think it hits. Let's see. Let's see here. I mean, here's the thing too, like about scoring formats. Like I guess you can win in any scoring format. It's just like, what's your favorite? I know Goku was saying that he's kind of new to fantasy, but like I myself, over the last couple of years, have really come to love 2 quarterback leagues. Super flex formats are my favorite by far. It makes it so where the draft itself becomes that much more difficult, and you're not a guy that you can sit back and wait until the 7th round and still get Tom Brady, you know, and have a quarterback that you're never have to replace all season long, you know? So when you add the extra possibility of having to play with another quarterback, it makes it so where guys like Deshaun Watson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, who just scored a touchdown, Lamar, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, these are guys that are being drafted in the first 3 rounds, right? And them getting drafted as early as that will force other talent to, of course, drop. And it's obviously the strategy of, hey, do I wait on a quarterback and take younger guys later in the draft? Do I invest early in quarterback and then go ahead and build my roster from there? And that's what I've come to love. I love Superflex 6-point per passing touchdown formats, half PPR, 19 to 20 man rosters. That's what 19 to 20 man rosters specifically because the bigger rosters you have, of course, because you're going to need 3 quarterbacks. I also play with 3 wide receivers. But anyway, the reason why I want bigger rosters and why I always suggest people play with bigger rosters is because it definitely forces trades. When you have a tight roster and you only have like 4 or 5 bench spots, the waiver wire has a lot of talent on it every single week, and you can go and you can pick up talent, and it forces players in your league to not have to trade. If you're someone that doesn't like to trade, then sure, you can continue with the format that you're in. But if you're someone that wants to get your league more engaged, then you should probably have bigger rosters so that people siphon all the talent off of the waivers, and it forces people to trade with each other. Now, if you're in a league where you're afraid of people colluding, then maybe let's keep the trades on a minimum. But typically, the leagues that I commission, every trade that is accepted by both sides, I automatically accept it regardless, unless it looks like blatant thing. I just let it ride. Dave is saying my scoring was ridiculous. Full PPR, 1 point per 10 for both receiver and QB. Wait, so quarterbacks were just yacked. So it wasn't a point per 25 passing yards. It was a point per 10. Yeah, look, I can't play in that kind of league. If we're giving that much value to a quarterback, then we got a problem. Very interesting on the big roster concept. Yeah, I mean, it's not something new either, because if you go play in like let's say a keeper format or a dynasty format, you have to have big rosters, right? In order to at least invest in talent for the future. But yeah, it's just the way that I force my friends and my leagues to have to trade. Because if everyone's sitting on their hands and you have a team and you've been hit with the injury bug and you weren't able to get the backup on the waivers, right? That leaves you in such a position where everyone's going to be like, yeah, no, we don't need to trade. We're comfortable. The waiver is fine. You know, go siphon it, go figure it out. And you're sitting there like, man, I gotta make a big play decision. Like, I'm not gonna find a James Robinson every year on the waivers. You know, I'm not gonna be able to pick up Mike Davis every year. So yeah. David says, I put a parlay in for Derrick Henry 1+ touchdown and Dobbins over 64.5 yards. What do you think? I like that. Yeah, someone was asking earlier today. They had J.K. Dobbins over 61.5 rushing yards. I like that as well. I mean, to be honest, Derrick Henry 1+ touchdowns. That's, I mean, anytime. I don't know what the odds are for Derrick Henry 1 touchdown today, but I feel like that's a lock. I really do. It's just like the way that offense functions. It is all around and revolves purely around Derrick Henry. So him scoring a touchdown today, I mean, I'm sure you're not getting the greatest odds there, but to be honest, if you could parlay that with the Dobbins and those odds look good, I think 64.5 yards is certainly not only doable, but he might be able to pass that in the first half. I'm not even kidding. That Tennessee defense really can't stop anybody. Does TL make it into the top 10 or 15 quarterbacks in the draft next season, assuming he goes to Jacksonville? I think he could probably be, depending on what they do in terms of free agency, because they certainly need an offensive line. Trevor Lawrence, yes, he's a mobile quarterback. It was minus 222. Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that seems right, David, for the odds of a Derrick Henry one-time touchdown. That seems right. Probably not the best odds, but yeah, I like the parlay. But to answer Steven's questions, Trevor Lawrence is a mobile quarterback, but if he does not have an offensive line, there's going to be problems. I think Jacksonville, they have a lot of good young pieces. Wide receiver-wise, they've got a lot of good talent, right? Having DJ Chark, I know he didn't play well this year, but you have Laviska Shenault. You still have Chris Conley, who is a leader of sorts in that wide receiver core. I know Keelan Cole is probably going to be a free agent and probably leave and go somewhere else, but you can probably pair Trevor Lawrence up with another wide receiver in the first 2 rounds of your draft and maybe even get yourself a little bit more talent defensively. I mean, the Jacksonville defense is probably not going to be something that they fix anytime soon. So Trevor Lawrence is going to have to throw the entire time. And in doing so, he'll find success in fantasy because it'll be similar to what Joe Burrow was doing this year. Joe Burrow, yes, his surrounding talent wasn't the greatest, but because he was being put into situations in which he had to score every time out, I think that's the same situation that Trevor Lawrence is going to be in. So, to be honest, I think he could very easily be a top 14 quarterback this upcoming year. Very easily. He's just got to stay healthy for the whole season. Because, I mean, Joe Burrow, if he never gets hurt, Joe Burrow is probably top 10 quarterback in terms of fantasy points in a 4-point. If Chase goes to Cincy, you think he'd be the number 2 wide receiver out the jump? Do you think Cincy's going to draft him, though? Let me see the order of this draft real quick. All right, draft order for this upcoming year. I got to mute this before. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Pause, please. Okay. We have Jacksonville, then the Jets, then Miami, then Atlanta. Okay, so here's my idea. Wait, so what was the question again? If Chase goes to Cincy, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what they need. I think Cincy needs an offensive line. You know what I mean? That's where they need to go. They need to go draft offensive line. So I don't know if Chase goes there. Will my league do you this year? You know what? Alma Garcia, I'm glad I could help in any possible way. Congratulations on winning the chip. Best stacks for next year. I don't like stacks, but if you're going to stack a quarterback and a wide receiver, it's Aaron Rodgers and it's Devontae Adams purely, or it's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Those are the best stacks. Has to go O-line. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking at the draft order right now. We're still on commercial, right? We're not back from halftime. Okay, I'm looking at the draft order. Jacksonville obviously needs a quarterback. The Jets obviously need a quarterback. Miami, that's the question. Do they go quarterback? I don't think they should. I think they should take the Heisman winning wide receiver, the Alabama kid. Why not? Why not get Tua his weapon, right? Because if you want to really invest in Tua, you got to go get him as a receiver. I think number 3 should be the wide receiver. Number 4 for Atlanta needs to be defense. Number 5 for Cincinnati needs to be offensive line. Philadelphia needs anything they can get, to be honest, because their team as a whole, awful. The Detroit Lions should probably invest for another quarterback. The Carolina Panthers need, in my opinion, they need defense because they haven't looked good defensively in a little while. I mean, I know they've been investing defensively, but losing Luke Kuechly doesn't help. 9 for Denver Broncos. I was gonna say quarterback, but maybe you give it another year. The Dallas Cowboys need defense. I'm sure the Broncos will go defense though. The Giants need defense. Maybe an offensive lineman, but I mean, to be honest, you've drafted offensive line for a long time here, but maybe they go wide receiver. And for New York, San Francisco, I mean, then when we get to like the double-digit picks, that becomes the question. But all right, let me get back into this chat. I think Cincy goes O-line, yep. Yeah. Who's your number 2 quarterback? Yeah, Zach Wilson from BYU is a good quarterback. It's just a question of who feels comfortable? Okay, so what are the 3 best quarterbacks? It's obviously Trevor Lawrence, it's Zach Wilson, and then it's the Ohio State kid, right? So it's just a matter of like, I mean, to be honest, I don't really care who gets drafted where, right? Especially like skill positions, right? Like typically there are scenarios in where, okay, if this quarterback can go here, he can find instant success, or if this running back goes here, he's behind a good offensive line. From the way that my mind works in fantasy, I don't care who goes where, just as long as you produce to where you're supposed to, right? If you play like you're supposed to, you'll be fine regardless of where you go. If you put a running back, if you draft another running back and throw him into the Baltimore backfield, and then they let Gus Edwards go, as long as it's a good running back, it doesn't. You know what? Speaking of running backs, Najee Harris, my goodness, whoever gets Najee Harris, whoo, my goodness, Justin Fields, thank you. I know I'm jumping around, my brain's just firing off ideas. Michael with another donation, thank you very much, says, hey Andy, how confident are you with Nick Chubb's ability to rush for over 70.5 yards against the Steelers defense? Oof. He's been such a beast this year. I want to pull the trigger. Okay. Here's my thing about Nick Chubb. I'm actually curious because I know he had a big run last week that pretty much took him over that total. How long was the run that he had last week? Let's go find it actually. He had a 47-yard run. If he doesn't get that 47-yard run, he doesn't surpass that total. I want to say he doesn't pass the. Yeah, I want to say he doesn't get over 70. What is it? 71.5 yards? 70.5 yards? I don't know if he does it. I know he's been a beast, but again, you have to remember he played against a defense that didn't have all their starters because they were sitting their starters last week. A lot of them, or at least the main ones. You don't have T.J. Watt out there. You don't have Hayward out there. The defensive line looks completely different, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Michael, but I appreciate that donation. I'm more inclined to just probably not test that one. What do you think about the spread so far? I mean, I'm all in on the Bills trying to win this game by 7 points. I think it's looking in their favor. It's just how they kind of produce in the beginning of the second half. You think the Jets might just roll with Darnold? Oh man, there's no way they roll with Darnold. I mean, I think they've given enough time to Darnold to be like, hey, did John Brown drop that? My goodness. I think they've given him enough time to like, hey, prove yourself. But the talent around him hasn't been great. I don't know. I feel like you should just let him go. Let him walk. He's already damaged goods at this point. He's going to start seeing ghosts again. Get upfield, Beasley. There's the second team All-Pro, baby. Let's go. Let's move the rock. Second team All-Pro Cole Beasley. I got to find that too. I want to know who they left off the list really quickly. It's actually just absurd to me to think that Cole Beasley could be a second team All-Pro and Justin Jefferson's left off the list. Am I wrong? Oh no, Justin Jefferson, I think he's on. Let me see here. So Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and Stephon Diggs were all first team All-Leaguers. And the second team All-Pros were Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, and Cole Beasley. One of these players is an imposter. Is it DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, or Cole Beasley? Who's the imposter? I mean, who's voting here? Who the heck voted Cole Beasley in as a second team All-Pro this year? I know they won a lot of games, but shit, guys, no shot. That's a nice catch there by Stephon Diggs over the middle. All right, let me get back into here. Okay, I picked up Chubb off waivers in the middle of the week this past season because someone dropped him when he was injured. Oh, what? Steven, let me just let you know, if someone ever dropped Nick Chubb in one of my leagues, like legitimately, if someone dropped Nick Chubb in my league, I'd go as a commissioner and I'd grab him and put him back on that guy's roster because I knew he made a mistake and there's no way in front of me he would drop that player because I'd get it and I'd make sure that it would be over. The league would end at that current moment. Who are you rooting for, Drew? Currently, yesterday in my predictions video, I want my predictions video to come true. And uncoincidentally, somehow, like unironically, I legitimately picked every higher seed to win. And I honestly, after the video was put and someone like made a comment, I was like, wow, I did pick every higher seed to win. And 0 upsets to take place. There's going to be an upset today. One of these 3 games, one of them will be an upset. But for now, I want the Bills to win. And I want them to cover by 6.5. So if they can win by 7+, that would be juicy. A.J. Brown should be up there. I agree. Let me go actually look. You know the crazy thing is to me as well? The second team All-Pro votes didn't have a tight end in there. Darren Waller wasn't given second team All-Pro. Only Kelsey was given a designation of All-Pro this year, which is confusing to me. So Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Calvin. Actually, let me look this up. Yeah, so Devontae, Hill, Diggs, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf. That exact order is the top 7 fantasy wide receivers. Cole Beasley is wide receiver 26, and he was second team All-Pro. So that means there were 20 other wide receivers that had better fantasy years than him, and he was yet given All-Pro. Where's A.J. Brown? He averaged 15.2 fantasy points, which means he would have had the 5th highest average amongst all wide receivers this year, even above DeAndre Hopkins. A.J. Brown, even though he missed a couple games with that knee or that quad contusion, that bone bruise, Should have been an All-Pro. 100% agree. 100%. Also liking Jared Cook over 31.5 receiving yards. Bears are pretty bad versus tight ends. I agree. That one I like. That one is the one I like. I'll take that prop bet. By the way, Michael, you don't have to donate. I'll answer your question in the chat. I appreciate the donations. You want to keep sending them? I'm not going to stop you, but just want to say I appreciate it. But you don't have to send anymore. Again, totally up to you. All right, let me get back in this chat. I'd want to see Allen Robinson on a good passing offense. Yeah, I agree. We were talking about it earlier. I want to see him go to Arizona, legitimately. I mean, I know that might be crazy, but then if he's not going to go to Arizona, then where do you put him? Houston's a good landing spot, but again, they're going to have to pay Will Fuller a good amount of money, which again is a little sketchy based on his injury history and the fact that he had to do steroids this year to stay healthy. Allegedly. It's not really allegedly at this point. But in terms of where else Allen Robinson can go, shoot, if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I go and sign him. Keep him out of my division. Keep him on my team. Give Rodgers another piece he needs. Did Jonathan Taylor make All-Pro? I don't think he did. I'll go ahead and let's go and let me find the list real quick. I'm pretty sure All-Pro first team is Derrick Henry, and All-Pro second team is Alvin Kamara at running back, and they only pick one running back per. So this is, what the heck am I? I'm hearing Andrew Siciliano in my ear. So first team all league: Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, and then offensive line, Bakhtiari, Conklin, Nelson, Brandon Sheriff, and Corey Lindley. So again, makes sense. Second team all league offensively is Mahomes and Josh Allen at quarterback with a tie. Alvin Kamara at running back, a tight end vacant. So they didn't give Darren Waller second team All-Pro. Doesn't make sense to me. Unbelievably deserved it. And then, of course, we've mentioned the wide receivers: D-Hop, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, Metcalf, and then Cole Beasley. And then Garrett Bowles, Ryan Ramczyk, Joel Petonio, Wyatt Teller. That's two Cleveland Browns, offensive guards on this All-Pro team. And then Ryan Kelly and Frank Ragnow. So, interesting, but it is the case. I've stopped watching the game because I've been answering so many questions, but I'll get back into it in a second. In my league, I had a person not be there for the draft. I don't think he set up his auto draft because his running backs were Henry, Eckler, Drake, Sanders, Chubb, and Carson. What? Actually, I think he did set it up because the auto draft knows not to draft that many running backs. So in fact, he probably grabbed all the running backs and threw them on top of his list, and that's why I took all those running backs. So in fact, I think he did set it up. You should ask him, but I think he set it up, but he made a mistake. He put too many running backs because he probably thought those running backs would be gone by the first 6 rounds, which it should have been, because there's no way he should have gotten Henry, Eckler, Drake, Sanders, Chubb, and Carson. Alpha says, as a Pats fan, I hope we can draft Mac Jones in the second round. I mean, look, the Pats, they're a couple pieces away. I mean, they were able to win a lot of games with Cam Newton this year, and that offense looked horrible. So, a couple pieces away. You add a couple pieces here and there, and you can get back into the playoffs. That's for sure. Saints can't take them. They already have salary issues. Let's see here. Who do you think Houston will get as QB if Deshaun Watson leaves? If Deshaun Watson leaves, I will I don't want to say it because if it happens, I'm going to be pissed. But to be honest, I'll be surprised. I think I was talking about it earlier. Someone was saying if he was to go somewhere, where would you want him to go? I said I want the Miami Dolphins to send 3 first-round picks and Tua to Houston for Deshaun Watson. Do it right now. And then with your first pick, draft the Alabama kid. and let's go. You know, DBZ was saying thank you. Won the chip, starting with this. Oh, so you made the okay. So not only did you win the championship, congratulations. I'm glad I could help in any sort of possible way I could have. But you got into the playoffs with a 7-6 record. That's pretty much typically in like an 8-team league. That's the final cutoff. So you made it at the final cutoff and you won the whole thing. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right, let's see what the heck this game's going on. What's the score of this thing? Because maybe I wasn't paying attention and somebody scored a field goal or something. They did score a field goal. All right, got to change the score. All right, here we go. Now it's time for the Buffalo Bills to just lock it down. You got to stop the run, guys. That's all you got to do. Again, like I was mentioning, you got to control the middle 8. In the playoffs, if you can control the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, which of course the Buffalo Bills have done that. They prevented the Indianapolis Colts from scoring a touchdown, which is a 7-point swing. Then they scored an extra 10 points, 17-point swing in the last 8 minutes of this game. In the first 8. Now you got to stop this drive. You got to get the ball back. You got to put it in Josh Allen's hands. You got to run the ball effectively, and you got to kill clock. Let's see if they can do that now. Man, I mean, the Indianapolis Colts, they got to find receivers. If we're going to be dropping passes like this, I mean, how are you going to win games? That's 4 drop passes already. Phillip Rivers is playing great. He's getting good protection in the pocket. I know it's a little bit ahead of Pascal and he's getting held, but come on. We got to catch these. What are we doing, guys? You know what I love to see? I don't know why the NFL does it, because we were talking about all pros earlier. For some reason, you know, they've made the Pro Bowl list like a fan voting thing. Like, I hate that. Pro Bowl doesn't mean crap anymore. I mean, I knew the Pro Bowl didn't mean anything when, what's his name? Xavier Rhodes made the Pro Bowl last year for the Vikings. I was like, what? Xavier Rhodes isn't even good anymore. But so be it. He made it, playing the worst year of his entire career. Man, Jack Doyle made a nice catch here. But he's short regardless. I mean, that is PI, but no one called it. Are they going to go for it here? Wait, it's a first down? Really? Okay, interesting. All right, let me get back in the chat. There's some questions. Okay. I like that Deshaun trade. I mean, so do I. So do I. You think the Bills can beat the Chiefs? No. I don't know if anybody can beat the Chiefs, Alpha. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if anybody can. The only team that can beat the Chiefs is the Chiefs themselves. If the Chiefs make mistakes, if they put themselves in bad enough scenarios in which they cannot dig themselves out of it, then they will, be their eventual downfall. Colin says, thoughts on Miles Sanders next season? You think Philly will make any improvements to the offensive line? They have to. I don't know what they want to do with the quarterback position. I'm assuming, of course, Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the future based on, the decisions they made. They have a top 6 pick, right? They either go defense with that first round pick or they go with an offensive lineman. If they can get a stud offensive lineman, they should. Because again, you don't want to have to sign Jason Peters again. But next year, you're not going to have Jason Kelsey. He'll be gone. You'll have Brandon Brooks as your right guard. Lane Johnson as your right tackle. You have 2 good, all-pro offensive linemen there. So it's just a matter, or Pro Bowl, not all-pro anymore. I mean, they missed enough games. I think if Lane Johnson was fully healthy, he would have been all-pro. And so would Brandon Brooks. They're 2 of the best offensive linemen in the National Football League if they were healthy this year. But I do think that once their left tackle, who is going to be in his 3rd year, comes back from his injury, if they draft an interior offensive lineman or a center, that's what they need. But I mean, to be honest, I don't think they need to draft offensive line as much as they need to improve their defense. But as it pertains to Miles Sanders, he looked better when Jalen Hurts was at quarterback. So that gives me hope. And it is promising. I don't blame Deshaun for wanting to leave, because Deshaun got no wide receivers other than Will Fuller. I mean, that's obviously false. I mean, just go look at Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is a 1,000-yard receiver this year with 6 receiving touchdowns. So Brandon Cooks is a good wide receiver. Trust me, guys. Cobb and Cutie are the receivers. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller. It's a great combo. The problem with the reason why Deshaun Watson wants to leave, he asked, hey, can we give Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, an interview for our head coaching job? He said that that's who I want my head coach to be, and they didn't give him an interview. There were interviews that took place all this past week with teams that were eliminated from the playoffs with Eric Bieniemy because, again, he was on a bye week. So they're already kind of digging themselves a hole with Deshaun Watson. They're not helping him out. They're already kind of turning their back on him, which is just crazy. We tried offering a wide receiver and a running back before the season. He kept saying, nah. I got my number one fantasy bro. He had Thomas in his 6-team PPR. Can't find people to join my league. LOL. Do you think Devontae Smith will be better than Jamar Chase? Just depends. If he plays up to where these guys were incredible in college, right? These guys they fill the stat sheets. That's for sure. For sure. I mean, it's just a matter of are they going to produce the way that we want them to? Like if Chase comes out and puts up I don't know. How do I explain it? If he comes out and puts up Justin Jefferson numbers, like his former teammate, then maybe he's he picks up exactly where he left off. But to be honest, I think both of them should be great regardless of where they land. I mean, they're probably going to be 2 players drafted in the top 15 picks, so it's just a matter of are they going to land and are they going to produce? Because we've seen good wide receivers land in spots where, regardless of where they landed, they weren't able to produce and they just kind of fell apart in their career. Man, the offensive line is making holes, but Jonathan Taylor's just not full sprinting. Just go, hit the edge. Where are we at here? Rank Jonathan Taylor, James Robinson, Chubb in a half PPR next season. I'd probably go. It'll obviously depend on strength of schedule, but for right now, I'm thinking Jonathan Taylor, Chubb, and then James Robinson in that order. And I think Chubb could very easily be ahead of all 3 of them, but for right now, I'm going to go JT, Chubb, and Robinson in that order, half PPR. Do you think the Saints can beat the Chiefs with Thomas back healthy? And Breeze playing like normal and not be crappy. I mean, I don't think that okay, so here's the issue. If, in fact, Drew Brees can beat the Green Bay Packers, I mean, if someone can beat the Green Bay Packers for Drew Brees, let's say, for example, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they win. They go ahead and they take on the, the Green Bay Packers, assuming that the Seahawks win and the New Orleans Saints win. If that can actually take place and Green Bay loses to Tampa Bay again this year, and then you have to play against Tampa Bay versus New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship. If that's the case, then sure. He can go and he can potentially compete because he almost beat them earlier this year, right? I mean, what did they lose? They lost by 3 against the Chiefs, and like you were saying, Drew Brees played terrible. So if he plays better, Michael Thomas plays out of his mind, why not? I think they can beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's just a matter of can they get there. Thought John Brown would do more. I mean, the thing is, John Brown's kind of fallen out of favor because he's been out of this offense for so long. Jonathan Taylor moving. All right, let's see here. Colin, yeah, Dillard is sus. Yeah, he is. He's tough. Yeah, I mean, he just really hasn't done anything. There's a reason why he couldn't win the job his rookie year. Let's see. You think JT will be the starter next year with Marlon Mack coming back? Marlon Mack's not going to get re-signed. Coming off of an Achilles injury, I doubt they re-sign him. Again, they have to pay Nyheim Hines the following season, and I think based on their cap space, they need to go sign wide receivers. They're going to have to re-sign T.Y. Hilton if they want to keep him. So, and in my opinion, Phillip Rivers is gone next year, and they got to either go pay Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford to come play quarterback for this team. So, I think they have a lot of money to spend, but it's going to go elsewhere. I don't think it goes to Marlon Mack. Third and 7. What do we got here? We got Phillip Rivers making a play. Let's see. Three for 3 on third downs this drive. And we get a wide receiver making a... Man, was that thrown behind him? Yeah. Damn. Phillip. That one's on him, but it's okay. The Saints' biggest threat in the playoffs is the refs. I 100% agree. It is. As a Rams fan, I know that full well. You think the Rams and Goff can go back to playing like they used to? Speedy, deep threat? Like Cook? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know what Sean McVay has really done to this offense, but they're not the same. And I don't think they're... Did he just miss that field goal? Oh my... Blankenship. Oh my God. We got ourselves a complete meltdown. Oh my God. How did he miss his field goal? He pushed it so far right. Wow. Okay. The Buffalo Bills are going to cover, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I don't think the Rams get back to being normal anytime soon. The Last Saiyan Prince. I like the name. As a Saints fan, even the wild card scares me. No, it should, because of last year, right? The Minnesota Vikings had no business beating you guys, but the Vikings have a number against your defense. They know how to score against you guys, but obviously earlier this year, Alvin Kamara putting up 6 touchdowns, made it a little bit easier. But if that game turns into where Drew Brees is turning over the ball, they're not able to move the ball as effectively, you get a problem there. I think we're underestimating Brady and the Bucs this year. I don't know if we're underestimating them rather than they have a tough slate. Like they legitimately just have to beat the Green Bay Packers. I know they smacked them last time, but this will be in Green Bay. It'll be a tougher scenario. I mean, I think that Green Bay is a better team than what they were the last time these two teams met. So if they can beat Green Bay, they could very easily go to the championship. But then they have to get through Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, who have beat them twice already this year, and who will have the home field advantage. So, again, it's going to be tough. But I think as of right now, there are 3 teams in the NFC that are contenders. It's the Green Bay Packers, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints. Those are the 3 teams that, in my opinion, are true contenders. Everybody else, in my eyes, is a pretender at this point. They've either gotten here based on, an easier schedule, or they were good and they're going to fizzle out. A la Rams, Bears, Washington, and Seattle. Hot Rod missed from that range. What? Yeah. Hot Rod Rodrigo Blankenship. I don't know how he misses from that range, but I'll take it, and I'm not complaining. Brady about to win his 7th alpha. I mean, with that what's it called? User picture? I don't know what it's called. When you have Brady as your logo, I mean, we would assume that yes, that's probably where you're going with. That's a huge break for the Bills because the defense is terrible that drive. The defense has been terrible all game. Don't worry. What's your predictions for awards for 2020, like MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year? I'm assuming TJ Watt gets Defensive Player of the Year. Either him or Xavier Howard of the Dolphins, because Xavier Howard led the league in interceptions. So it's either him or Xavier Howard. MVP should go to Aaron Rodgers. 52 total touchdowns. I mean, what are we talking about? He has willed his team into this position with his arm. So Aaron Rodgers is my MVP. I think they'll probably give it to TJ Watt this year as a defensive player of the year. Even though I think maybe Xavier Howard has been, a little bit better. But, I mean, again, whatever. It doesn't really matter for me because I'm not really focusing too hard on defense. Offensive player of the year should be Derrick Henry. I mean, to be honest, Derrick Henry could make the argument for being the MVP. And I wouldn't be upset about it one bit. But Aaron Rodgers had an unbelievable year. And typically the MVP award is given to quarterbacks. I know the last time it wasn't a quarterback, it was Adrian Peterson when he ran for 2,000 yards. So again, I wouldn't mind Derrick Henry winning that MVP. I'd actually be really happy about that. All right, Josh Allen, let's get it moving, boys. All right, Stephon Diggs. We're going 5 wide here. Zach Moss in the slot, along with, okay, he's going to, ooh, Josh Allen moving. I don't like that play design. In what capacity did we think that was going to succeed? He literally took the snap and immediately ran forward. There wasn't even a drop back, like as if the defensive line is not paying attention. What are we... Very interesting decision making here. I have Kamara as the offensive player of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kelsey. Yeah, I know. It's got to either be Rodgers or it's got to be Derrick Henry. I like the Alvin Kamara pick, but, I mean, he had one game of 6 touchdowns. It really does kind of tip the scales in his favor for sure based on that. I think Dalvin Cook was a great player too. If he didn't miss as many games, would have been just even better. All right, let's come back here. If you're holding, yeah, okay, but here's the thing, Texas boy. The difference is, yes, they're holding them to 10 points, but Michael Pittman Jr. dropped a touchdown. The team opted to go and not score a field goal. They had an opportunity from the 2-yard line. QB sneak didn't get in. T.Y. Hilton dropped 2 passes. Zach Pascal dropped 2 passes. This team, the way that they've played in the first half, and they've been able to move the ball as well as they have, the Indianapolis Colts should at least have 24 points on the board. At very least. That's not to take away what Buffalo's done. Buffalo's been perfectly fine. If the team is going to make a mistake, Buffalo's going to take advantage of it. But all we're saying is that Indianapolis has played far better than the points that they've put on the board suggest. Okay, if you're not going to snap the ball, what are we doing? Let's go to commercial break. Okay, let's come back here. I'm surprised the Colts are still in this game, pretty much going into the fourth quarter. I expected a blowout, to be honest. I mean, it's playoff football, though. That's the thing. Who do you think will win Rookie of the Year? I got Justin Herbert or Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Herbert was already announced Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go find this. I'm pretty sure they... Maybe I am mistaken, but I was under the impression that they... Unless he's just a finalist or whatever. If it's me, and if it's between Justin Jefferson and Herbert, I give it to Justin Jefferson. But, I mean, I respect what Herbert did. But Justin Jefferson had an unbelievable year. I think it was he has the most receiving yards for a rookie wide receiver in NFL history. He beat Odell's record, Randy Moss's record, Anquan Bolden's record. Justin Jefferson's a different animal. Titans offensive line was like backups for backups this year. Lawan, Saffold missed a lot of time. Yeah, Saffold's back, which is good. Roger Saffold's, as a Rams fan, I know how valuable he is. And Lawan, of course. Missing him and still running for 2,000 yards. Imagine what they do when they get him back. And the thing is, too, the Titans, they drafted a first-round offensive lineman this year. And he did not play at all the entire year. He got a couple reps here and there, but majority of the time he was getting in trouble because he was going to high school parties. Now he was going to college parties with COVID. Like, what are you doing? Like, hello, are you trying to jeopardize your team? Like, yeah, you got drafted in the first round, but now it's time to go to work. Like, what are we doing? Either way, to each their own. Colts dropped a touchdown on 4th down, missed a 30-yard field goal, and the defense has not been good. I mean, the defense has been, holding Josh Allen to 17 points, I think is a success, to be totally honest. Let's not forget, the Buffalo Bills have the second highest scoring offense in the National Football League this year, only behind the Green Bay Packers. So they're a good team, and I think holding them to as many points as they have, it's good. Are you worried about the Buffalo's performance? I'm not technically worried about Buffalo's performance. Like right now, I think they'll be fine. They're going to win this game. They just, of course, they've got to start, a little bit faster than they did this game. Their first quarter performance was awful. A lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of bad field positioning. Special teams wasn't looking good. So maybe if they can cause a turnover in this second half, get the ball back, gain an extra possession, they'll be in a better spot. But otherwise, yeah, they've got to play better. Exotics, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, someone dipped all the Colts gloves in butter before the game started. I mean, yeah, it's possible. They have whatever Deontay Johnson was having earlier this season. I don't know what that is, but that's what they have. They got the butter fingers, as some would say. All right, what down is it first? We're about the midfield, 40-yard line on the other side. All right. Texas boy, I swear. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was going to college parties, but still, I know he's 1 year removed from college. But dude, like, you gotta lock it down when you're a first round offensive lineman for the Tennessee Titans of all teams. Let's see. Okay, let's see what this game's doing. Is Zach Moss get torched? What happened to him? Let's watch this. His knee. Oof. Well, let's hope that's not a fumble. I mean, the injury's the injury. Let's see if the knee was down. I'm assuming it was. That's not good. At least they have Devin Singletary. Is Jared Goff playing? Steven, from what I'm aware of, I believe he is. I can go ahead and check again, but I believe he is playing. He might not play the whole game. Yeah, Jared Goff is active. Doesn't mean he's starting, but he's active regardless. Okay, let me come back here. Sadiq, you're very welcome. I'm glad I could help in any way. That's rough. Getting Kelsey and McCaffrey off the bat definitely isn't the best way to start, but either way, I'm glad I could help in any way. LOI, I drafted Christian McCaffrey, Mixon, and Kittle and finished in first in my 12-team league. Exotics, your league must not be paying attention, dude. What are they doing? If you had all three of those guys and you still ended up winning the whole thing, then, hey, look, that's how you know that even though the draft is theoretically really important to set up yourself for success, it doesn't really mean, everything. There are some leagues in some teams that, hey, I drafted the best team off the rip and I got lucky and nobody got hurt and I won the whole thing. But there are often times where you can build a team just off of waivers, off of trades, and win your league. And I guess that's what you've done, Exotics. Congrats. Down by contact, Bill's lucky. Yep. That is very lucky of them. I mean, man, my goodness. If Phillip Rivers in this Colts team does a backdoor cover, I'm gonna be pissed, but I won't be surprised of it. We just got to see this team score another touchdown, though. They've got to go down the field and score here, whether it's field goal or touchdown. I don't really care, but you just got to put up another point. Keep extending that lead. All right, am I back from commercial yet? What are we doing? All right, beautiful. Okay. Where are we at here? In your opinion on this season, who made the All-Pro first team, not according to the list NFL sent out? In my opinion, so not on the. Are you, just to clarify? Are you asking who is not on the list that I think should have been on the list, or in my opinion, who should have been All-Pro if the list didn't exist? Just for clarification purposes, because I will answer it. I just want to know what exactly is meant. All right, let's see this game. We got Devin Singletary in the backfield. That's fine. They're gonna have to activate TJ Yeldon next week, which is also fine. Good protection by the offensive line. Let's go! Let's go! Stephon Diggs, baby! Woo-hoo-hoo! The Buffalo Bills. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Whew. Let's go. Okay. Number 2 pick in a dynasty league. Mahomes, Allen, Murray, Kamara, Saquon, DK, Tyreek are the top options. Who should I go with? To be honest, if you're Alec, the question is, how long do you think this dynasty league is gonna run? Because I'm thinking that, like, if that's your choices, like, Mahomes isn't a bad option considering he's on a 10-year deal. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be your quarterback for the next 10 years if you play a 10-year dynasty. You know what I mean? So, but typically as a first round kind of thing, I want to grab a running back early. I want to grab my Saquon, but I don't know what Saquon we're getting, you know? So at that point, you just go with the safety of another player. Like, I don't know what Kamara is going to look like without Breeze. Is he going to catch 80-plus passes? Probably not. You know, it's tough. Man, I'm fired up, man. Stephon Diggs catching that touchdown. Let's go. You know, everyone's going to... I mean, oh, man. It's tough because this team, this Phillip Rivers team, they've played well today. I'm telling you, they have played well. They've gone down to the red zone and they've made mistakes. Maybe it's not all on the players. Maybe, you know, there's some coaching mistakes here that have been made. But, you know, I can understand the logic of their decision making so far. But hopefully that touchdown gives the defense a little bit more juice for Buffalo, because I want this to be a blowout. I don't want this to be close. I put some good money on the Bills covering. So let's get that to lock in, please. And thank you. Oh, change my score. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, I'm coming back. Sorry about that. I got so carried away. I was like, oh my God. Let's go. Okay. Okay, their list would change the things that you think are wrong. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, so of the people who made first team All-Pro in the NFL, players that should have also been included, I know that they have, like, okay, you only have one running back slot and one tight end slot and three wide receivers. Okay. So the wide receivers they picked, I'm fine with. I don't mind, you know, Devontae Adams, Diggs, and Tyreek Hill. I don't mind Derrick Henry as your number one running back. Kelsey, it's fine. Aaron Rodgers, that's fine. So offensively, in the first team, I don't think there's a problem. Cole Beasley should not be a second team All-Pro. Darren Waller should be a second team All-Pro. I think there could be an honest argument in which Alvin Kamara and another running back should be given second team All-Pro recognition. Like, Alvin Kamara certainly deserves it, but I also think, like, other running backs like Dalvin Cook Dalvin Cook deserves to be mentioned as a second-team All-Pro. I think he had almost 1,900 total yards this year and like 18 touchdowns. Like, how does that go, like unrewarded? To like getting a Pro Bowl nomination's, only going to go so far when the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest more than anything. Like, there are players like DeForest Buckner, who's a first-team All-Pro defensive tackle. They didn't make the Pro Bowl because it's a popularity contest. There you go, Jonathan Taylor, moving the rock. They're already in position to score. That's what I'm saying, man. This Colts team, they're gonna go score, and it's just a matter of whether the Buffalo Bills can hold on to it. But yeah, Cole Beasley shouldn't be a second-team All-Pro. AJ Brown should be at least. If not AJ Brown, maybe even Adam Thielen. So yeah, there's some players that got screwed. Let's see here. Because like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes being second-team All-Pro at quarterbacks, not a problem at all. I think that's perfectly fine. Those are two fantastic quarterbacks. But I think that you need to give recognition to Dalvin Cook. I think you need to give recognition to A.J. Brown, Darren Waller. If there's a third-team All-Pro, which they don't have. I know they have it in the NBA where they have first, second, and third-team All-Pro, and then like first, second, and third-team All-Defensive Team, or they have all those kind of rewards. If they had a third-team All-Pro, I think the quarterback would probably have to be, I was going to say Kyler or Russell Wilson, but to be honest, it might even have to be Tom Brady at this point. 40 passing touchdowns. The guy's plus 40 years old. Like, gee, many. Good protection. Phillip Rivers dumps it into the floor. I mean, Rivers, bro, come on. What are you doing? Oh, my gosh. That's brutal. Colts are not giving up. No, they shouldn't. Listen, they do this for a living. They know how to play these games. They've been in these positions before. Change the quarter two. Thank you very much. Honestly, I'm so focused on the chat and the game that I've just totally forgot. Thank you for pointing that out, guys. I appreciate it. Ridley should have made the Pro Bowl. Wait, did Calvin Ridley not make the Pro Bowl? Look, that's how you know that the Pro Bowl is it's irrelevant now. Just based on that, it's irrelevant. The guy can't have 1,300 receiving yards and 9 receiving touchdowns and not being, that's messed up. Calvin Ridley had, I think he was, nice, sack, pass, go, touchdown. I think he had the most 100 receiving games of all wide receivers this year. I think he had like 7 of them. All right, here we go. I'm changing the score again. We have ourselves a game. They scored too easily. That is legitimate concern. They scored way too easily. But hey, like we mentioned all day today, the Colts should be winning this game. They should be winning this game. Dude, they've been running crossing routes the whole day. Slants, crossing routes, and getting people pretty much caught. What's the flag? False start? Offsides? What are we doing? If they go for 2 here, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah. Pro Bowl's a joke. It's just a vacation with a big swag. Yeah. Swag bag event. I agree. That's why players, when they go to the Pro Bowl, they don't even try to give effort. They play one quarter, they try to do one cool trick play, and that's it, and they leave. No one's trying to get hurt. Are they going for 2? They're going for 2 legitimately. Oh, these are the decisions that my back's starting to seize up now. We're having a problem. The Buffalo Bills are throwing the game now. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, goodness. All right, we got to fix the score. Move it back to 16, and then it's either going to stay at 16 or go to 18. All right, Philly Rivers. Oh, they stopped him. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Let's go. Matt Milano coming in making plays. That's another mistake by Frank Wright. Why does he keep doing this? I know he's trying to win the game, but he has put himself in so many bad positions. They have lost, what is this? Already, they've lost 4 points that they could have had. A field goal at the end of the first half and an extra PAT right there. And you have yourself a 3-point game. Instead, you make yourself have a 4-point game, right? Instead, you got a problem. You got a big problem. But hey, -6.5, baby. We're staying on course. On course. Evan Ingram made it over Tanyan. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's how you know. You know what the crazy thing is too? Evan Ingram had less stats with, I think, double the targets as Robert Tanyan this year. If I'm not mistaken, let me go see here. From what I remember when I was doing like the weekly stuff, let's go see tight end. All right. Robert Tonyan last year, 52 receptions on 59 targets. That is an incredible catching percentage. 59 targets, by the way. Evan Ingram this last year had 109 targets, 63 catches. And on top of it, Tanyan finishes the number 3 tight end, Evan Ingram, the number 18. So not always does opportunity lead to success, because some people's opportunities just aren't built the same. Some people get red zone chances, some people don't. Just how the cookie crumbles in the NFL. Yeah, I really didn't want that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So look, I did take the -6.5. I did believe, and I still believe, that the Bills will win this game. So yeah, that 2-point conversion was going to screw me. Are you streaming every game today or just this one? I'll probably just stream this one, because when the Rams game comes on, I'm going to be, it's going to piss me off. Also, it's going to be a lower scoring game, so I think it's going to be boring. I'm taking the under in that game for sure. I think, what's the under on there? Like 43.5? Let me see here. Nope, that's not the right website. Come on, man. Here we go. Let's go see what is the over-under for this game. Boom. What do we have? Okay, so I guess it depends on where you go. Everyone pretty much has 42.5 over-under. I'm going the under on the Rams game. So it's probably a game that's going to be low scoring that I'm not going to want to watch. So I'll probably bow out at that point. I'll probably be back tomorrow. What's the morning game for tomorrow? Tomorrow's morning game, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus Tennessee Titans. I'll be back for that one, probably. Unless something changes, I'll probably be back for that one. Let's see here. Okay, Josh Allen. Cole Beasley catching a pass. Dude, Darius Leonard's such a monster at linebacker. My goodness. He's just such an imposing threat on the field. He's got some of the longest arms. For a linebacker, you don't even have to cover that well. You just got to put your arm in the right place, and you're going to make plays regardless. Cole Beasley looks hurt. He's limping everywhere. Get John Brown back. Where's Gabriel Davis? He got 2 beautiful sideline passes to shift the entire momentum in this game, and then we have yet to see him. Nice. Diggs catch. Boom. Oh my God, Stephon Diggs. I mean, can anyone stop this man? The answer is no. That's right. Flex on their sideline, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo. My goodness. Stephon Diggs. Great blocking by everyone on that side. Gabriel Davis and Dawson Knox with great blocks. And he just gets upfield with relative ease. What's up, Brandon Warmack? How's it going, man? All right, here we go, Josh. Let's keep moving the rock here. Oh, my God. Beasley coming back from the dead. He looks so hurt. Holy moly, he is struggling, but he's making plays. Second team All-Pro Cole Beasley, baby. Holy moly. Making plays. Let's see here. Rams new QB over Goff? No, he's not that good. I mean, Goff's not that bad either. But if Goff can't throw the ball with that thumb, then yeah, they need to replace him for this week. Taking the under in the Tampa Bay game, under 45. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea either. Saints-Bears, second game tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, Saints-Bears, I don't know if that'll be as exciting as Titans versus Ravens. Wasn't Leonard's wingspan 82 inches? Yeah, it's something like that. He's got like a swimmer's wingspan. He probably has some like Michael Phelps wingspan-esque kind of thing. I swear, it's ridiculous. And it makes it so much easier as a linebacker to come downhill, engage with an offensive lineman. If you have longer arms than an offensive line, you make contact before he does. I mean, there's so much more opportunity to disengage and make plays. It's just ridiculous. All right, Josh Allen. Just get the ball out of your hands safely. Check down, easy. Get upfield. Nice. Okay. It's good. Just methodically move down the field. Get 3 points. If you can get 3 points here, you're in a really good spot, to say the very least. But we want a touchdown. Especially considering how easily Phillip Rivers has been able to score. What's up, Fisher? How's it going? Would you rather stick with Goff or trade for Wentz? Oh, God. I'd probably stick with Goff. I don't know, man. Wentz is tricky. He looked really bad this year. They want to go for it on 4th and 6? I love to hear that. Let's go for it. Tua or Fitz for QB in Miami next season, and how long does Fitz last in Miami? With your in your opinion, I mean, they have to give Tua the start, and they got to stop replacing him. I know they want to make the playoffs this year, and I know that they were, they're trying to do their best, but it's growing pains. You got to let him learn. You can't pull him in the 4th. In my opinion, if he's the quarterback of your future, you got to let him roll. And if he's not, you got to address that this offseason because you got the 3rd overall pick. And the reason they have the 3rd overall pick is because the Houston Texans were this bad this year. They traded away Laramie Tunsil for 2 first-round picks, one the season before. Or is this the Minkah Fitzpatrick? I don't know which one this is. This is either the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade that they're getting the 3rd overall pick from or the Laramie Tunsil trade. Regardless, you're not going to, as the way that the Miami Dolphins played this year, defensively, running the ball, the amount that they've improved, they're not getting a top 5 pick anytime soon. So this will be the last time that you make a huge play at a quarterback. So if you're going to, if you want to address it and you're saying, hey, Tua's not the guy, then do it now. Otherwise, draft, the wide receiver and keep on moving. All right, let's see here. I think Wentz would be perfect in Indy. I don't know, man. Wentz needs receivers, man. He legitimately needs receivers. The offensive line is good in Indy, but I don't know. It's tough. We'll see how that kind of transpires. I don't know if anybody's going to want to trade for him. He owes too much, or he's owed too much money. It's like $20 million a year. Who for MVP? Fisher, I'm 100% either with Aaron Rodgers or what's it called? Derrick Henry. Those are my 2 MVP candidates for this year. I'll take either of them. All right. Tyler Bass kicked a nice field goal. He celebrated. Great. Good for him. 27-16, 11-point lead. If the Colts come down and they score a touchdown, I am going to be in trouble because I don't know if the Bills will score. So we're hoping that there's not a backdoor cover here by the Colts. Romo's doing the Saints and Bears game. He will be doing the telecast from home because of COVID. Oh, interesting. That's kind of weird, doing it from home. Yeah, I mean, doesn't really matter. His analysis doesn't change. I guess because there isn't a crowd either, there's not really much of a atmosphere to feel there. You think the Titans can do it against the Ravens again? Tighten up. I mean, that was my prediction. So my predictions for the first round of the playoffs is literally every single team that's favorited is just going to win. Bills, Steelers, Titans, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Seattle. If there's a game that I anticipated, the team that was, of course, the lower seed or the underdog to win, it would probably be the Ravens. But the Ravens are a away favorite. They're favored to win by 3 points at Tennessee. So, wait, what did you say? The Saints and Bears game is on Nickelodeon tomorrow? No, we're not watching that. Again, we're watching. I'll be here tomorrow morning, probably 10 a.m. to watch the, what's it called? To watch the Titans versus Ravens game. But we ain't watching no Nickelodeon game. And anyway, I don't really think that it's going to be that. If it's even a competitive game, then the Saints have problems. Like, they got to reevaluate everything. But, man, I'm looking at this Pizza Hut commercial, and some of this cheese looks good, but we all know that Pizza Hut's not good pizza, right? I mean, we're all aware of that. I mean, you guys tell me, what's the best pizza place? I mean, living in California, there really aren't that many, like, you know, if someone's like, I'm from New York, you know, we got some, you know, Chicago pizza, you know, I mean, I don't know, man. Pizza's pizza. Just give me some cheese, but I don't know, man. Pizza Hut, as of late, I don't think I've had Pizza Hut in like 10 years, to be honest. But someone put a Pizza Hut pizza in front of me right now, that's going down the hatch. Very easily. No hesitation, actually, in fact. Henry has to be MVP. Yeah, I mean, I was mentioning it earlier, Eric. The last time somebody that was a non-quarterback won the MVP was Adrian Peterson when he had his 2,000-yard season. So, yeah, it's possible that they give it to Derrick Henry. I think the Browns can win if they go off in the running game. I mean, the only problem with the Browns that I mentioned yesterday in my video was Joel Bitonio, all-pro left guard, out. His backup, Nick Harris, out. And the potential of Ryan Conklin, first-team all-pro, could potentially be out. So if 3 of their offensive linemen are out tomorrow, they're not in the best spot to win. All right, let's see Phillip Rivers try to put together an 8-minute drive here. Oh my God, he almost fumbled the snap. The handoff almost got caught. And okay, come on. A lot of people saying Papa John's, huh? Papa John's is good, really? Domino's? I mean, to be honest, if you put a pizza in front of me, I'm fat enough to where it doesn't matter where it's from. I'm still going to consume it, but, you know, I guess it's just a matter of if I have the choice, where do I go, you know? Jack Doyle, drop. Let's go. Let's go. Good job, Edmonds. Let's go. Lock it up, boys. 3 and out. Let's go. Lock it up. Let's end this game. We're not BSing here. We're trying to cover. Only W's from here on out. Come on. Indianapolis has 1 timeout. So, yeah, they're not going to even be able to stop. If the Buffalo Bills get the ball back, they're able to move the ball effectively enough, it'll give no time for Phillip Rivers to be able to get anything going. Jerry Hughes, come on, man. That's a terrible pass rush. That is I mean, are we not able to cover Trey Burton? Is this actually the case? Trey Burton, of all people? My goodness, man. Oh, God help me. Colts want, yeah. If the Colts score a touchdown on this drive, they backdoor cover like a bunch of fucking with their plus 6.5 BS. Dude, Nyheim Hines is about to bust out a 25-yard run. Oh my God, 30, 40. Nyheim Hines is going to be the downfall. It's not even Jonathan Taylor. It's Nyheim Hines. That's the downfall. 5 rushes for 70 yards. Oh, my soul is starting to break. This is in the books, guys. Like, just lock them down. Bend but don't break. You can give them all this yards, but do not let them score a touchdown. The pass rush is irrelevant. Touchdown. Josh Allen, go score a touchdown, please. Please. For the love of God, go score a touchdown. Are they going to go for 2? Guess we'll just have to wait and see. I hate this. This Bills defense, I mean, that's the thing, right? Even if they win, they're so bad that there's no way they're beating anybody. They can't beat Mahomes. If they can't stop Phillip Rivers' offense, how are they going to stop Mahomes, right? I mean, man. Goodness. They got to not get this 2-point conversion. For the love of all that's holy. And you got the 2-point conversion. What am I witnessing? Why has this happened to me? Someone cue the music. What the... We're not doing a stream tomorrow, guys. Stream's been canceled. I'm pissed. I'm salty. Yep. I'm big salty. Jack Doyle and Trey Burton, of all people, or Nyheim Hines. Like, what are we talking about here? What? All right, Buffalo, please go score. Please. Please. I beg of you. I mean, if Buffalo throws this game and straight loses, I swear. I mean, what are we doing? Who's in coverage? Who's making... I mean, like... God, they're playing a zone. I get it, but, like, who's not on their assignment? Is Tre'Davious White just got bit inside? Or is it Milano that should have dropped back? I don't know, man. Oh... My soul hurts, as you can tell. I've stopped looking at the chat. I'm just looking at this game. Actually, I'll hop back in the chat for a second. Andre Roberts needs to stop doing this BS. They can't stop Old Rivers, that's right. As a Titans fan, same for the Titans. Defense is so bad this year. If we beat the Ravens, the Chiefs are going to destroy us, yeah? Oh, man. Buffalo. Please don't be a one and done. Come on, guys. Go and score a touchdown, please. Come on, Josh Allen. You've done pretty well this half. Let's go. Let's light it up. There we go. That's a great play. Gabriel Davis coming out with a nice 12-yard catch. Let's move it. Come on. I mean, all they got to do is kill clock, but I need a touchdown. I mean, no field goals, please. If we get a field goal, I'm turning off the stream immediately. I'm saying deuces and I'm bouncing because this is just, oh gosh. They've got to score. Come on, Josh Allen. He gets sacked. It's all coming to an end. Oh, gosh. Oh, they blitzed the... That's why. The slot corner came off the edge. Or was that the safety? I don't know. I'm getting pissed. You can't tell yet, but I'm... It's more of... I'm not even that upset. I'm just disappointed. You know what I mean? I'm not angry. I'm disappointed in Josh Allen. Unless he can save me here. Please save me. Please. Please. Oh my God. Cool. Stephon Diggs. Come on, baby. Let's go score a touchdown. Woo. Houdini out here making plays. Wearing number 17. My goodness. The pump fake. Oh, and the rotation out of the pocket. Woo. He threw a wobbly pass, but nobody cares. 2 feet in. Perfect. All right. My goodness. Could we please just lock it in, boys? 6 catches for 128 and a touchdown. Love to see it. Stephon Diggs is unbelievable. We're going for it all. Oh, man. Okay. That's fine. Threw it away. No big deal. 2nd down. Oh, man. Is the score updated on our screen? It is, right? Okay. Come on, Buffalo. Come on. Let's not make a mistake here and throw the game. Please. Please. Pretty please. Nice. That was a nice Statue of Liberty play. Good run by Devin Singletary. 14 yards. Let's go. Okay. Devin Singletary showing himself worth a damn for the first time this season. I don't know. Did he have any good fantasy games this year? I think he scored a couple touchdowns. Maybe a handful. Otherwise, Josh Allen just siphons rushing touchdowns for them. That's why you can't own a Bills running back, unfortunately, in fantasy. Because Josh Allen's just too much of a threat down in the red zone. Just like Cam Newton with his running backs this year. Damian Harris could have been so much better, but Cam stole so many touchdowns. Okay. Oh, Josh Allen, please don't get sacked. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Dude, if anybody remembers last year, Houston Texans game, Wildcard weekend, Josh Allen did the same thing. He got sacked for 20 yards when they needed him not to get sacked for 20 yards. I'm not kidding you. I can put the 2 highlights next to one another. This has happened before. It is deja vu in front of my eyes. What are we doing? He actually fumbled that ball. Oh, thank goodness they recovered. But my gosh. Did they recover? Yeah, they did. Okay. The dream is dead. It is unfortunate. I mean, at this point, you're not covering the Bills. Just take the L. Like, let's just, let's get it. I mean, what are we doing now? I mean, 2nd and 33. The only defense that I can think of off the top of my head that can give up a 2nd and 33 is the Los Angeles Chargers. And I don't see them on the field right now. Oh, my gosh. This has been an interesting game. At least the over hit, right? Somebody was asking earlier, is the over going to hit? At least the over hit, right? But what are we doing, right? I'm just, oh my God, I'm disgusted. Oh, look at Jack Doyle's beard. My goodness, that thing is a monster. 33 yards for a first down. I mean, good luck, Josh Allen. If you can do it, you're just a god, but he threw it right into the ground. Well, it's like 3rd and 33 now. Oh, man. The Colts could legitimately win this game, though. If you're a Colts fan, I mean, you've never had a better chance. I mean, technically, the Colts could be tied at this point if they had kicked that field goal at the end of the first, but, you know. And then, actually, they would have been up 28-27 if they didn't go for 2 the first time and failed. So, Colts should be up and winning. Josh Allen should... my God, Josh Allen. Wow. I can't believe this. He's throwing the game. No. Oh, this is brutal. All right, Hail Mary time. Okay. You got some yards. Who cares? You got to punt regardless. All right. Well, there goes the, you know, the -6.5. Unless a pick 6 is going to take place anytime soon. Yikes. That is rough. Just when you think, all right, here we go, Colts. Let's see if the Colts want to pull the upset here. I mean, they did everything that they could for their offense. They got the ball back. You got a possession. You just got to go and earn it now. All right, here we go. Philly Rivs. I think the stat I mentioned earlier today was Phillip Rivers in the wild card in the last 4 games he's played is 4-0. So, can he do it? We'll see. The last 4 wild card games, he's been undefeated. For the Chargers, of course, but... oh, man. The game should be GG Colts win. I mean, yeah. The way that they were just able to score as easy as they were, it should be. The Colts should go down and win this game. With relative ease. Let's see what this punt return looks like, though. Okay. They got to go, what, 85, 86 yards and score. Actually, they could just take it to overtime. Oh, that's what Andrew needs, huh? Andrew needs overtime. Nope. Don't need overtime. Never mind. Scratch that. 6.5. Damn. Struggle begins. 43 comebacks of 10-plus points this season. Tied for most in NFL history, dating back to the 2013-2014 season. Wow. I mean, you can thank the Falcons for like 10 of those, so. Alrighty, here we go. What is Philly Rivers going to do here? Dude, Jack Doyle is unstoppable. Is the ref not coming out to set the ball? Like, what are we doing? It's like they're trying to run a 2-minute offense. The ref's not coming to collect the ball. Oh my gosh. All right, he dropped the pass. 2nd and 10. Clock stops before 2-minute warning. No. If they score a TD in overtime, I don't win because it's -6.5. They got to win by 7. So the only way I theoretically win is a pick 6. And I've already mentally compressed that that's not going to happen. So, so be it. It didn't go through, but hey, you know what? Let's see how this game pans out, whether the Colts or the Bills win. Because at this point, man, right off the rip, we got a nice, juicy game to start off Wildcard weekend. Dude, Nyheim Hines is just running through arm tackles. What are we doing? All right, 3rd down. You got 2 tries at this, so you can get any sort of yardage here, Rivers. 2-minute warning? Okay. This is playoff Rivers. A pick 6 wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Please win, Bill. Sincerely, Vikings fan. Wait. Okay, interesting. Imagine if Blankenship didn't miss that field goal. Yeah, they should be up a significant margin, in fact. The game should be over at this point, actually. If they make that field goal at halftime, they make or they at least attempt a field goal at halftime. They make the second half field goal, and they make the extra point. This game's over. They're running out the clock right now. Colts win. But a couple bad decisions by coaches, Frank Wright specifically, and you've got yourself in a position where still you have a chance to win, but you could have locked this thing down earlier in the game. And the Bills really did screw the pooch on this one, huh? They really threw this game away. They had it settled. Their defense just could not. I mean, Rivers is coming down and just putting points on you. Like, I don't even know if the Bills have to play the Steelers next week and the Steelers even look remotely good. I don't even know at this point. Like, Steelers might take that at that. I mean, shoot. Hines is closing in on 100 yards. Damn. Yeah, he had a fat 50-yard run. So, I'm not surprised. Yeah, that would be nice. If the Browns win and have to go play the Chiefs, and then the Indianapolis Colts would have to play Baltimore or Tennessee. They've beaten Tennessee, but they lost to Baltimore earlier this season. I mean, it's 1-1 split against Tennessee this year, and then they lost to Baltimore because Baltimore's defense was a little too much for Rivers. Oh man. Oh, let's see how this season kind of breaks down for these two teams. I mean, again, it could be Rivers' last game. But we'll see. I don't know. The way he's playing, shit, it doesn't even have to be his last game of his career. It's a matter of if he wants to or if nobody wants to sign him. Because I think they're paying him pretty good money. I think it's like a $25 million contract to play for the Colts this year, Rivers is getting. So he's getting paid good money. I mean, he's got like 10 kids, so he's got to ensure the the bank account is set for all of those different families going forward. All right, here we go. What yard line are they on? Okay, opposite 30. And they got a ways to go. 3rd and 5. And, okay, we got a 4th and 1. The clock's moving. Here we go. Call your best play. This is the game here. You don't get it, the clock gets kneed out. And the Buffalo Bills win. Dude, Buffalo doesn't even know what coverage they're supposed to be in. They look confused. Just play it by ear. Guys, go make the tackle. Oh my God. If the Buffalo Bills legitimately hesitated on that, just go. It's not play action. My goodness. Jack Doyle getting that run block and going, baby. Moving Jerry Hughes off the line. Okay, good protection. Jack Doyle again. Incomplete. Okay. Got a minute. Man, at least this game's exciting. I'll tell you that much. I'm telling you, the next game's... I mean, if somebody scores a touchdown in the first half in next game, I'll be very surprised. Watch. The Rams and Seahawks game is going to be a 40-40 game. That'd be insane. With Jared Goff's finger or thumb, I don't even know if that's even remotely possible. Oh my God, Nyheim Hines dropped. Oh my God, it just bounced off his face mask. Do you guys remember who in the chat remembers what the overtime rules are in the playoffs? How does it work? It's not sudden death, right? So like even if someone scores a touchdown, it doesn't matter. The other team will get a chance to get another possession, right? There's a rebuttal. I'm fairly certain, but I'm not 100% sure. They blitzed. And that was good defense. Good job, Tre'Davious White. 4th and 10. Here we go, Rivers. I mean, Tre'Davious White's holding the whole time. I mean, no wonder he's making these plays, bro. He's just literally being guided to the ball. I mean, that's how you play cornerback, though. If the ref on that sideline is going to let you do it, then you got to do it. All right, Rivers. 4th and 10. Good protection. Has time, and they get it. Oh, my God. Did he? No, he didn't fumble that. No way. He must have been down. Catches his pass. Oh, no, that ball's out. Wait, am I bugging? Hold up. He's not touched. He stands up. Wait, are they not reviewing that? He called a timeout. McDermott did, because they want to... I think he wants the review. I'm fairly certain that's a fumble. That's a fumble, right? Holy moly. He catches this pass. He stands up. He's not touched before his knee's off the ground. And ball's out before he hits the ground again. I think this is a fumble. Yeah, it's a hard fumble. Recovery by Bills, game's over. All right, guys. Well, the Buffalo Bills advance to the next round. Congrats to all you Buffalo Bills fans. My bet did not go through. The Bills were not able to win by more than 7 points, or 7 points or more, unfortunately. But, you know, we live and we learn. Congrats to them. The Bills, who are what? The number 2 seed. They will certainly not be playing the Kansas City Chiefs, regardless of what happens to the rest of the game. So they will take on, you know, either the Steelers or probably most likely, probably they'll take on the Steelers. It'd be tough for them to play anybody else. I don't know if the Cleveland Browns are winning, but it's gonna be tough either way. All right, well, that's a way to end the game, huh? That is a ridiculous strip there. No contact, no contact, no contact. Is his knee off the ground? Yes. Does any part of him hit the ground? Elbow, knee, back? No. It's fumble. Set. GG. Man. Buffalo needed a turnover all game long, and they finally got one. They finally got one. I'll be surprised if the booth review comes out and says that there's not enough evidence to make this an overturned ruling on the field. Bills don't deserve this win. You know what, to be honest, I don't disagree with you at all. I think the Bills stole this victory by the decision making of the Colts off, their coaching. Frank Wright made some mistakes, and it would have put them in a better position if they had, not been greedy in the first half. They should have realized that they were the better team and that they needed to just continue to just put up points and take points. But they also made players made mistakes, a lot of drop passes. If you're going to fumble here, that's a worst case scenario. So again, Colts should have won this game, certainly, but there's always next year. Colts are a damn good team. They get Matthew Stafford, like a lot of people are expecting them to. I know there's a lot of trade rumors, hey, Carson Wentz because of the Frank Wright relationship. But I think if Matthew Stafford lands at the Colts, you got yourself a pretty nice spot there for him. Because I don't think Jacoby Brissett's, the starter anytime soon. His knee's off the ground. His knee's off the ground by the time Pointer touches that back plate. Damn, they're still in the booth? What are we doing? We got to be able to make a call by now. Like, we have, I think, enough evidence. All right, let's see here. This will be the first time Buffalo wins a playoff game in how long? They showed it was against Miami, like, I don't know, 20 years ago plus, 30. Stafford is better than Wentz? Yes, he definitely is. It's just a matter of if the Lions want to keep Stafford, because they can certainly re-sign him to another contract and keep him staying there. So if they let him go, they let him go, kind of thing. Let me see what kind of Stafford. Let me see Stafford. Let me see how many years he's got on his current contract. Oh, no, never mind. So someone's going to have to trade for him. Does he have a potential opt-out here? Yeah, he has a potential opt-out in 2021. So either Stafford can stay on the current contract and make another 20, 30 million in the next 2 years. More. 20, 30 million in the next 2 years. I'd say closer to 30. So you can either stay, make an extra 30 million in the next 2 years with the Lions, or he can opt out of his contract and go and try to re-sign somewhere else. So it just depends on what they surround him with. Wait, they gave the ball to the Colts? What? This is a cap. What are we doing? Oh my God. What? Yo, I'm wishing for a pick six. Rivers, just throw a pick six to Tre'Davious White. Do us a solid, bro. Why are we calling timeout again? Why is McDermott throwing away all his timeouts already? Are we trying to get a better spot on the ball? Oh my God. What is happening? Dude, I thought this game was over. How much money did the Colts pay? They must have paid a good chunk, dude. Holy moly. That's why he was in the booth for so long. He was calling Germ Irsay. He was like, Irsay, how quickly can that money be in your jet here by? We're thinking maybe 8-9 million. Is that worth? He's like, I'll take it. All right, cool. Jim Irsay's got all the money, so that's a good timeout call. But I mean, what's the point of it? You're trying to get your defense settled. I mean, has Phillip Rivers been sacked once this game? I don't think he has. I mean, the Colts offensive line is just, they're unbelievable. You got a gunslinger like Matthew Stafford back there that can really take the top off of defense. You go sign another couple good wide receivers for the Colts. Shit, go get him Julio. Forget it. Let's do it. Let's do it big. Let's go win a chip next year for Indy, right? I don't know, man. All right, 14 seconds left. A penalty will run off the clock, and Phillip Rivers is going to throw the ball away. All right, well, we got one play. Rivers got to throw it to the house. I don't think they're in field goal range from last I checked. I don't think Rodrigo Blankenship can miss a 24-yarder, then turn around and hit a 60. So I don't think that's in his... Yeah, I don't think he's a 60-yard kind of guy. Someone could tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe back in the day at Georgia, he was hitting those kind of inconclusive evidence. Yeah, you know what? That's BS. That's what they say in the CSI TV show. There's not enough evidence, but not on this field. Not when we have 6 different angles with 4K cameras. Are you kidding me? All right, here we go. Rivers is just... What are we doing, Riv? You can't even get it to the... I mean, yikes. You can't even get it close for the field goal. You put in Jacoby Brissett, honestly. Jacoby can get the ball into the end zone. I don't know if Rivers can at this distance. Can he throw a 50-yard bomb still? He probably should be able to. If I can go outside and throw a 40-yarder and with relative ease, I don't think this guy's going to have a problem. All right, does the pass rush get there, though? Nice air underneath it, too. And game over. All right, guys. Buffalo Bills win. Interestingly enough, we got it there. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by, watching with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to go watch my Rams get destroyed for the next 3 hours on the couch as I yell at the TV. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. This has been fun. This definitely has been fun. I'll keep you guys updated. If you see that there's a stream that is going to be taking place tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then I'll be here for the Titans. If the stream is not up by, tonight, then that'll be the decision maker. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. So if I end up being busy, then we'll have to just play it by ear. Maybe we'll do it for a different game tomorrow. But either way, thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, that is basically it. So we'll just go ahead and sit here. And yeah, man, what an interesting game. What an interesting game. All right, guys. I'm out. I'm going to eat some food. Later.